with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Shelter Agent Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff, Grant Westmoreland in Sheridan, or Sam Eklund in Star City.
Well, we wrapped up 2023. Now you got to start making those goals for 2024. How about starting with ending your joint pain? Hey everybody, it's RJ Hogg. Don't go another year compromising because of that joint pain in your knees, your back, or your shoulders, or maybe from an old injury. You need to call QC Kinetics now. They are the nation's leader in regenerative non-surgical pain relief. And you heard me right, non-surgical. They don't do drugs, they don't do surgery, and the best part, there's no downtime. Your body has exactly what you need to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue. The future of pain medicine has arrived, and QC Kinetics has thousands of Central Arkansas patients that are loving getting their life back. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again, get your life back, and listen, there's no surgery involved. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
You've heard it here on The Buzz several times. Gary hasn't been an oil man specialist like this since Who Shot JR. Well, we figured out who shot JR, and he wasn't even shot. He was caught at Splash Car Wash getting an oil change, full detail, and wash. All the Ewings were there. JR, Sue Ellen, Bobby, Pam, Miss Ellie. Get your oil changed the next time you're at Splash and let them know JR, I mean Gary Hill, sent you. Call Gary Hill, MSS Oil at 501-200-7089.
Live from the Hogs Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. 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 Who that thinking that he frontin' on that man? Get the off.
Welcome to Out of Bounds from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher. It is a weekend recap brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Whatever happened over the weekend, we're going to get into. There's a lot to get into with NFL playoffs being set. There's a national championship game tonight. NFL coaching changes. Guys, how we doing?
Nervous.
You're nervous?
Anxious.
And you're on the wrong mic, but okay. You're nervous, anxious?
Nervous, anxious. I don't know how I'm going to get through the next 5 hours. You know what Tom Petty said, Joe? The waiting is the hardest part. And, yeah, I've felt like this for the last 36 hours.
Okay,
man.
Yeah, not too much longer to wait, so don't rush anything.
No.
Don't rush it. It'll be here.
I'm pacing myself. It's almost like a sign. When I walked in here, right where I usually sit, over in the next chair, someone left 4 Tylenol.
Just for you.
It had to be. Who else? If not me, who else? Yeah, they thought Pigskin's going to need some Tylenol and some Pepto. So, yeah, it's going to be good tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to do it. But, you know, it'll be like everything with Michigan. It'll be like having your gum scraped at the dentist, you know. Yeah.
Oh, so NFL playoffs being set, though. So there was a lot of action that happened, and that started on Saturday with the Steelers and Ravens game. Steelers had to win that one. Then you had a divisional game with the Texans and Colts. And so they had a couple of teams that were in limbo. Mm-hmm. With Steelers winning, they were in limbo, didn't know if they were going to get in the playoffs. The Texans winning, they knew that they were in the playoffs, but there was a chance to win the division. And then with things that shook out on Sunday with the Jags losing to the Titans changed a lot that was going on. Texans won the division.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Steelers and Bills in the playoffs. So then you go into the final game last night. The Bills already know that they're in the playoffs, so they didn't have to worry about that. But they were trying to win the AFC East, and there were a couple of wild plays in that game that led to the Bills going on to win the AFC East.
Davis out, Trent Sherfield is in as the third wide receiver. Fake the give, over the top, deflected in the air, Sherfield dragged his feet! Touchdown! Ruled a touchdown! We'll have to check if he kept it secure, but he was looking at it like a fly ball in the air, dragging his feet, and for now it's a touchdown. Daniel can't believe it.
Andrew Van Ginkel got his hand on the ball, and that catch and feet down.
Bailey with a big punt sends Deontay Hardy all the way back to the 5. Has some space, takes off, look out, Hardy gets a block downfield, Hardy's gonna go, he's in midfield, nobody's gonna catch him. Deontay Hardy, 95 yards. And the Bills' special teams brings them within a point of a tie game.
This guy was first team All-Pro, made the Pro Bowl, all that sort of stuff, and here's why.
So last game of the night, last game of the weekend for NFL, and there was a lot that was hinging upon that game also because of the result. If the Dolphins had won, then it would have been a rematch next week. The Bills win, they send Miami to KC to take on the Chiefs, and now the Steelers go to take on the Bills. So there was a lot going on. And then when you look at the lineup and the networks, the game that's going to be on Peacock, streaming-only game, it's the Dolphins and the Chiefs. So the only way you'll be able to see that game is on Peacock.
That seems like one of the more attractive games. I wonder why they're putting it on Peacock.
Well, they're doing it. It was already pre-designed that they were going to put the Chiefs there.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter who the Chiefs played, but you think about it. Super Bowl champ, you're putting them on Peacock. You know there'll be a lot of interest in people wanting to see the Chiefs, and they're not the same team that they have been in years past, but they still are Super Bowl champs, and that's why you put them on Peacock.
Peacock is a lousy viewing experience. I watched a Michigan game early in the year on Peacock. Those guys couldn't hold a garage sale, much less put a football game on, unless they've gotten better, because I haven't watched them the last few months, but yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence in them. So
everybody has their streaming services now, and they're trying to drive traffic to the streaming services, and also like a network like CW. They're doing sports now. So everything is so spread out, and this is a way to drive traffic to Peacock to get Super Bowl champs on, to have the Olympics on Peacock and have some coverage there. The LeBron James, the movie about his life, and it was people know Bron's story, but they don't know about the Friends, and this was more about the Friends. They put that on Peacock, trying to drive interest there and drive people there.
Well, that guarantees that I wasn't going to watch it anyway, but especially on Peacock, I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to watch a movie about LeBron's friends. Why on earth, Joe, would I be interested in that?
Well, LeBron was a big part of the movie. It just told more of the story.
Yeah, but they're
in depth.
a bunch of dudes from Ohio. I don't care anything about anybody from Ohio.
It goes back to the state down south.
I'm not watching those people. And by the way, all you Ohioans listening right now, tune in tonight to watch Michigan playing for the national championship. Not your team getting their heads kicked in by Missouri. I just thought I'd add that.
It does feel like Peacock has to sort of play from behind, though, on the other streaming services. I mean, when did that one kick off? 2020 or 2019? So they have a lot of ground to make up.
It's because I don't think they do a good job of advertising the way that the other networks do and driving people and driving traffic there, and then everything has to be paid for. It's like that they offer some things for free, but they want that subscription.
There's a lot of people out there, and I say a lot of people who are old. They don't know how to run all that stuff. They don't know how to find Peacock or find Apple
parents.
TV. Exactly. I finally learned how to do it because my wife was very patient and said, you take this remote, you push this button, this is how you get there. So I finally figured it out. But I still don't like going back and forth because I don't like to watch commercials. So I turn it back. Like if one game goes to a commercial, I turn it back. But with all that stuff, you got to go and get out of the thing and go back to live TV or go to the satellite. And I'm like, good grief, it's harder than Chinese arithmetic. I don't want to do that. I want it easy. And that the streaming services do not make anything easy.
YouTube TV, by the way, easily my favorite.
Really?
Easily my favorite. Yeah, it allows for the multi-view setting as well, which I haven't seen a whole lot of, but it's very handy, because I like to watch Red Zone, the one where they're just kind of going over each game, showing you the highlights.
Me too.
Bouncing from game to game. That's what I like to watch. So it sort of allows me that while still being able to see the nuances of the game.
Yeah, the red zone's like watching 8 games at once, which is pretty cool.
It is convenient when you are talking like you are talking about going back and forth. And so you put it on red zone, and they do it for you. You don't have to do much of that. But if you want to focus on one game and then maybe, tune out to get to another one just to see what's happening there, it is a bit of a hassle when you have to go back and forth like that.
And you wouldn't want to watch your team in a big game on red zone because you're missing most of it. If it's a game I'm really concerned about, I want to watch the game. But if it's like 8 games like yesterday I didn't care about, that's a great way to watch it.
Well, the Lions were playing yesterday, though.
But the Lions,
they've already clinched everything.
Yeah, they were. I kind of. It was bittersweet after Laporta got hurt. I'm like, man, really? Now? We have to lose that kid now? Yeah, anyway.
Any updates on Laporta?
He ain't playing. If he does, he's going to be dragging his leg out. It's like Joe said about Watt, man. You hurt your leg that much, you're not coming back in a week. You're probably not coming back for the rest of the playoffs.
There were reports that T.J. Watt was trying to get back into the game, which when you injure your knee to that extent, you don't want to risk further injury.
No.
Now, he's somebody that he's a team guy, and he knows that he's probably the best player on the team, and he wants to be out there helping the team along. But sometimes that can hamper you when you do have other players that are capable. Look at, we talk about the Jags losing. Trevor Lawrence, he wanted to be there. He had a sprained AC joint, and at times you could tell it affected his throws. So did that take away from the team more than what he gave the team in the end?
Well, I figured they were in the playoffs. I can't believe that they wound down the way that they did and ended up missing it. I thought they were a lead pipe cinch to make it this year.
They did it on NBC last night when they were getting ready for the nightcap, and they said that 6 weeks ago they had a 96% chance to make the playoffs, and then it turns into 0 the final week of the season.
That, my friend, is choking, is what that is.
So what happened was they lost 5 of their last 6 games. And a lot of it had to do with Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. A lot of it had to do with him. Southern Structural Solutions text line. You can text in 501-661-1037. Call, same number, 501-661-1037. Gangster Museum of America, Life and Feedback. And we have a comment here about Jim Harbaugh. And if Michigan goes on to win the national championship, what happens with Harbaugh? Does he extend and stay at Michigan? Does he go to the NFL, coach the Chargers, or maybe the Raiders? He has some connections there. Now, to talk about the Raiders, Antonio Pierce is a guy that should get that job, but when the Raiders think about it, are they going to allow the Chargers to hire Harbaugh, or would they like to throw some interference in there and they take him?
Well, Antonio Pierce is not a better coach than Harbaugh. He's done well in an interim gig, but, I mean, if you want to go big, you'd have to go with Harbaugh, but he might decide to go where the better quarterback is, and that, of course, would be the Chargers. But I think the Raiders are closer to winning than the Chargers are, but,
I know in the NFL it's kind of a limited pockets, but, I mean, aren't they still paying Gruden back for that ridiculous contract they signed him to?
Oh, they're not worried about that. It's not like college where they're worried about the buyout and what the coach makes. They bring in multi-million dollars every year, so they're not worried about paying a former coach.
If Davis needs to, he can go street to street, block to block in Las Vegas and ask for collections, and I'm sure he could raise some money to get who he wants. So.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and there are other coaching changes going on. The Falcons, they are going to look for a new coach, and Arthur Smith is gone, and the Commanders with Ron Rivera. So there could be some movement around, and then there's a few other.
Carolina?
Yeah, a few other questions out there.
You want to deal with David Tepper, which no one does?
Just got fined recently.
Man.
For interacting
throwing
with
a drink.
fan.
What a nut. man.
Yeah, why do you let somebody get to you to that extent? Especially when you are who you are.
Yeah.
That video literally looks like a 5-year-old child did it. I mean, it literally looks like the actions of a 5-year-old that gets upset because he has to go to bedtime.
And then, he looked at the $300,000 like, okay, I'll pay it, and that's that. It's nothing to him. Guy that's worth $20 billion. We're going to come back with more of Out of Bounds after this break. You want to get into the show? Call 501-661-1037. Southern Structural Solutions text line, same number, 501-661-1037, and Gangster Museum of America Life and Feedback. All the ways to get in. More of Out of Bounds coming up after this break. Stay tuned.
Ever wanted to watch our beautiful faces while you also listen to your favorite shows on The Buzz? Now you can. All your favorite Buzz shows are streaming live on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter pages. 103.7 The Buzz, your multimedia fun and game station.
This is SportsCenter.
Yesterday, the playoffs in the NFL were set. We will start with the AFC, where the Ravens got the number 1 seed and will await the winner of the 5th-seeded Browns and the 4th-seeded Texans. The Bills grabbed the 2nd seed and will face the 7th-seeded Steelers in the wild card. Then the Chiefs are the 3rd seed and will take on the 6th-seeded Dolphins. In the NFC, the 49ers got the 1 seed and will await the winner of the 4th-seeded Buccaneers and the 5th-seeded Eagles. The Cowboys got the 2 seed and will take on the 7th-seeded Packers, and the 3rd-seeded Lions will face the 6th-seeded Rams. And the College Football Playoff National Championship between Michigan and Washington is tonight. Kickoff is set for 6:30. Coverage can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. Join in progress at 8. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Is your Oaklawn Thoroughbred racing action so close you can feel it? Or is it the view from your trackside luxury suite? However you like it, racing season is off and running at Oaklawn with live races every weekend through May 4th. It's fun by the furlong all season long. Make your reservations today at oaklawn.com. What's your Oaklawn? Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Every Tuesday morning during basketball season, you can hear Caleb Battle when he checks in with the guys on Morning Mayhem. It's made possible by Edwards Food Giant. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people. The only stop you'll have to make for all your family's grocery needs. Caleb Battle on your home for Arkansas Razorbacks basketball, 103.7 The Buzz.
Join the zone each Monday for game balls and jock straps. Brought to you by A Caddy's Touch Landscaping. Find out who made the best, average, and worst headlines in sports and entertainment each Monday as Justin Akery and Wes Moore give you their game balls and jock straps on the zone from 10 to 1. It's all brought to you by A Caddy's Touch Landscaping, 501-794-2770. Call today to get your landscape updated to a whole new level and be listening for game balls and jock straps only on 103.7 The Buzz.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. The opportunities of another new year are beckoning. What will you do with them? Too many get stuck in a rut, doing the same things over and over. As Robin Sharma says, don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life. Change things up. Set new goals. Quit a bad habit. Take up a good one. You can do it, my friend. Say along with Thomas Jefferson. I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. May your dreams come true in 2024. Get busy living or get busy dying. Looking for a great place to work? You can be part of the Double B's team. Go to doublebees.com and apply online. We are looking for a few good men and a few good women. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
Skeletor stole my radio, and I want to hear Gluttony Unplugged this Saturday at 9 a.m.
Skeletor has never stooped so low.
I want to hear Scott Romine for myself. Do something, He-Man.
By the power of Gluttony.
Do you need health insurance? Open enrollment for the Arkansas Health Insurance Marketplace is happening now. Do you have questions about plans and coverage or need help with enrollment? Visit myarinsurance.com to connect with an Arkansan waiting to help at no cost to you. But hurry, the final open enrollment deadline for 2024 health insurance coverage is January 16th. Find help today at myarinsurance.com.
It's not just about the size of the meat, it's about where you get it from. So get it from Hogg's Meat Market in North Little Rock. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Was a beauty from South Alabama. Her daddy had a heart like a 9-pound hammer. Think he even did a little time in the slammer. What was I thinking? She snuck out one night and met me by the front gate. Her daddy came out waving that 12 gauge. We tore out the drive, he peppered my tailgate. What was I thinking? Oh, I knew there'd be hell to pay, but that crossed my mind a little too late. 'Cause I was thinking that a little white tank top sitting right there in the middle by me. I was thinking that a long kiss, man, just gotta get going.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds from the Hoggs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher. It's a weekend recap. We're going to recap what happened over the sports weekend. And if you want to get into the show, you can call 501-661-1037. Southern Structural Solutions text line, same number, 501-661-1037. Gangster Museum of America, Life and Feedback. Southern Structural Solutions text line, Josh in Greenbrier says the only good thing on Peacock is Yellowstone. Now, thought Yellowstone may have changed networks, and now it's on Paramount.
I can't keep up with that stuff. Yeah, because I've seen it on that, and then it was on the country music channel. They had the reruns or something. By the way, that song that was just being played, is that a real song? Who is it?
Dierks Bentley? Is that how you say it?
Oh, Dirk. That's Dirks
Yeah.
Bentley?
That is a real song. Why'd you think you
about?
don't like it?
I thought it was a parody. I thought it was some like a Justin Moore trying to make up some kind of a pseudo country song
He
about
doesn't do that.
You know, the girl's daddy and the 12-gauge shotgun and my
No.
pickup truck and my dog ran off and I just
Nah, he doesn't do that.
Okay, well, he might.
All right, so another message here. Can you watch the game on Dish if you don't have Peacock and you have Paramount? No. Peacock is the only way. If we're talking about the playoff game. Now, if we're talking about the national championship game tonight, yes, you can watch it on Dish. And I think that question has to pertain to right now there's a dispute between CBS or Paramount and some of the other platforms, and you don't have CBS right now. If you have DirecTV, not sure about Dish and AT&T, but DirecTV is without CBS and Fox right now.
For anyone listening, by the way, that still wants access to cable, YouTube TV will provide that for you. I mentioned it earlier, but seriously, I have to plug it again. It's like the stuff my parents can use, can operate. It's very, very functional, very easy.
You just you encourage me by saying that because I'm like, well, maybe there is hope for me.
So what kind of streaming do you have, Pigskin?
Oh, we got everything. Pretty much. My wife runs it all. I mean, I'm like, hey.
Oh, so you don't know exactly what it is.
Okay,
but you know
I can tell you. We've got Peacock.
Oh, you do have Peacock.
We've got Apple. We've got Netflix. We've got 15 other things, but I don't usually use most of them. If I'm not watching a ball game, Seinfeld, or my wife's show Homeland, I'm reading a book. Or I'm usually reading a book at that time anyway. But I will not be reading a book tonight. That'll have my full attention tonight. But
From Byron on Southern Structural Solutions text line, he says, "Go Blue! Excited about the game tonight. Should be a fantastic game, and take that Ohio State."
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, Ohio. Just maybe you guys do some board games or something tonight. You don't want to tune in and add to your suffering. To watch your 3-time conqueror, on the march to a championship.
Who do we like on the game tonight and for the Super Bowl? For the Super Bowl, that's weeks away. But for the game tonight, who do we like, Ethan? Who do we like?
Washington, baby, all the way. Penix Jr., he's leading them to the promised land.
Ethan, I'll come over in that room and smack you.
Okay.
Don't think I won't. This glass isn't going to keep me from you.
Can we please put the thing up on the stream? That way no one sees me get lit up, by the way.
Yeah.
It'd be embarrassing getting beaten down by an old man, Ethan. I'm just telling you.
So we can have varying opinions. We don't all have to think the same.
I can't believe physical violence is what Pigskin Preacher just resorted to.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't yet, but I'm mulling it over. So,
Also thinking that Washington is going to win the game tonight, and maybe they'll be able to control the flow, and it'll be a high-scoring game. Feel like it may go back and forth. Maybe if it's not high-scoring, it goes back and forth.
So the number one defense in the country is not going to stop these guys. That's what you're saying?
I don't know about stop them. They may be able to slow them down. I don't know about stop them. But I would be happy for you if Michigan won. I want you to be happy, and I'd be happy for you, but I think Washington is going to win.
Personally, I'd argue that the bigger matchup is J.J. McCarthy versus Washington defense instead of Penix Jr. versus y'all's.
Okay, so now tell us why Michigan is going to win the game.
We lead the country in the point differential. We've won our games by more points than any other team in America. Washington's last 10 wins have all been within one score.
That's all you have to do is win by one, though, right?
Well, yeah. Well. Washington has a better offense, but we have a much better defense. I'm usually defense wins championships.
And I'm usually in that ballpark with the defense. And I love defensive games. I would love to see a lower scoring game at any time. I'm fine with that. When most people, all they're worried about is seeing high-scoring games and who can look good on offense at all times. I love defensive games.
Look, we could lose the game tonight. You know, those wide receivers are all NFL quality. Penix should have won the Heisman Trophy instead of the guy that lost 7 games at LSU. I don't have a problem with that. My problem is that all these bandwagon SEC thumpers down here, Washington's going to win the game. Washington's going. I'm not including you in that number, by the way. I am including you in that number. But, they haven't seen Michigan twice all year. Washington. They haven't seen Washington twice all year. They just don't want Michigan to win because Michigan is perceived by them to be a bigger threat to their hegemony. Okay, Washington might as well be in Alaska as far away as it is. It might as well be on the dark side of the moon. But Michigan is a big enough brand. They're a big enough presence that there's something that tweaks the typical SECer about Michigan. That's what Christian said it in the zone. He said this is an anti-Michigan vote, and he's right. 60% of the people think Washington. Why? Oh, I don't know. They just will. Okay. Well, all right. Well, we beat Alabama. If we beat Alabama, presumably we could beat Washington.
Oh, in any team. And going into the college football playoff, you could have made a case for all 4 of those teams to win. Now, most people were making the case for Alabama specifically, but you could have made a case for all 4 of those teams to win, and you saw that the semifinal games came down to the end.
I'm just getting sick of the same tired meme over and over. Okay, Barrett Sallee, 2 minutes before the Rose Bowl game a week ago. Michigan is not prepared for what is about to be unleashed on them. It's like, shut up, okay? Yeah, they were prepared. Sterner said last week, there's no way Michigan can keep up with Alabama's speed.
I don't know about that.
I heard him say it.
No, I'm saying I don't know about that perspective.
But he said that, okay? Yeah. And then Justin asked him today, Washington. Michigan can't keep up with Washington. Justin said, didn't you say that last week about Alabama? Oh, yeah, I did. I was wrong. Well, then at this point, then flip a coin,
He admitted that he was wrong.
Well, he doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't watch those teams. He doesn't watch them. So we're listening to a bunch of people that don't even watch the teams weigh in as experts on the teams. I just that wears me out is what it does. It just does.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah,
Remember
but that doesn't
though.
mean I'm entitled to listen to it. Okay?
Well, don't listen.
Yeah, why don't you listen to me on the national debt, even though I'm not an economist and I haven't given an hour's worth of thought to it in the last 50 years. But that's my opinion. Okay, well, whatever.
Joey, talk to us about Peacock.
Not Peacock, Paramount Plus.
Oh, Paramount, okay.
Yeah, we got that too.
Paramount Plus shows CBS Live, but you got to get the $11.99 deal, not the $5.99 deal. but it's a whole lot cheaper than YouTube TV. And I've got DirecTV. I've had it for 20 years, and, yeah, we lost Fox about a year and a half ago. We just lost CBS. So, I mean, basically everything's going to streaming, so these cable packages really ain't worth it anymore.
Well, the thing about it, though, is when you have so many different streaming platforms, when you get different ones, it's all going to add up just like your regular subscription.
Here's my favorite thing about this, Joey. So what is it right now that's being blocked? It's CBS or Fox or something.
Both on DirecTV.
Both of them on DirecTV is what we got. So you go over there and see this, and then there's a graphic that comes on. Why don't you call your cable provider and make the case for this? I'm like, why don't you shut up and mind your own business and do your own job? So I got enough to deal with in life that I need to start working as an agent for the stupid networks and the cable companies so they can play nice together and hold hands and sing Kumbaya. What kind of nitwit came up with this? I'm not doing that. I looked at my wife. I said, yeah, honey, give me the phone. I'm going to call the cable network and make the case for why don't we have peace in the valley. It's like, my goodness, you're insulting my intelligence.
You're still paying full price, but you're losing channels. I don't get it.
And the reason you're losing channels, Joey, is because they're trying to keep from raising the price even more. And that's where the dispute comes in with the platform and the network.
If they're trying to drive everybody away, like these young kids, and everything is now a streaming platform, keep going, because you're doing it, okay? People are sick of this. When I say people, I mean me.
I like Sling if they would carry CBS and Fox. Sling carries every college sports you can think of.
Wow.
Even I will admit.
I appreciate it, Joey.
To share that information.
It is sort of on a different vein, but the Amazon Prime streams that they do with Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit, I mean, they're easily like some of the worst NFL broadcasts we've had in the past couple of seasons. So even I will admit
they keep buffering the entire time.
Exactly. That's what happened when I watched a Michigan game. I'm like, I'm not watching any more of these things because by the time the buffering catches up, you're like 5 minutes ahead. I'm like,
it's just one of those things that we have to deal with, and it's not going away. Kind of like how people talk about the transfer portal and NIL. It's not going away.
When I ignore them, it's going to go away because I'm not going to have anything to do with them.
DJ.
Man, Pigskin, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're pretty hot today. Okay, so I'm no way, shape, or form a Michigan fan, but I'm 100% with you. Michigan will destroy Washington tonight. I only say this because look at Washington's defense. They are ranked 100th or worse in every category, including, I think, 131st in the nation against the run. What does Michigan do?
Man,
run.
They run it.
We used to run. We haven't done it as well this year as the last couple of years, but we should be able to show up for a game and run, hopefully.
You're gonna run it tonight.
I hope so.
And, I mean, I was listening to the show before, and the guys were talking about like place and bets for players and everything, and it said that your running back over under for 28 yards in the first quarter. I said that's over all day.
Mm-hmm.
He'll do that on the first carry. And so, I mean, people don't know what they're talking about, and I understand your frustration when people don't study the game or know the game or seen the players. Anybody who watched Michigan handle Alabama last week, put pressure. I mean, don't get me wrong, Penix, great talent, but and that line, yeah, they won their awards. Michigan's going to put pressure on them. He's going to force them into throws. They're not going to be able to stop Michigan's offense. Michigan will win. You get to celebrate your natty, but. Man, I just heard your frustration and everything. I just want to call and say, hey, man,
thank you, my friend.
Down.
Appreciate it.
It's going to be okay. Y'all should be hosting that thing tonight, okay?
I like it.
So, all right, man. Y'all have a good night. Sorry.
Appreciate it, DJ. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good if it shakes out like that, and then nobody would be worried about the after effect because there's going to be some after effect if Michigan wins.
Well, I'm just sick of listening to these SEC honks. They can't compete. They can't keep up. I'm like, you don't even watch them. So just sit this one out, okay? Let the Yankees talk about it since the Yankees are the ones playing tonight.
Plenty of comments that we're going to get to on the Southern Structural Solutions text line about Michigan, about people hearing about them or tired of hearing about them, and
good, because I'd like to fight with some of these guys. Joe, bring it on. Start reading them.
Hogg Wild, what's up, Hogg Wild?
Good afternoon, Joe Pigskin.
Hey, what's up?
I just got Pigskin. Are you nervous at all?
Yeah, I'm always nervous. We finished runner-up like 7 times in the last 10 years in 4 different sports. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm sick of being runner-up. I want to win.
I can tell you when the Razorbacks, in basketball in '94, we made that first final game in '94. Boy, that day, I just wasn't worth a flip.
Exactly.
And game time started. Okay, here we go. And then the back-to-back game the next year against UCLA wasn't quite as bad. But that first one, I guess because the second wasn't as bad because I knew we had that first one already. So we had it to fall back on. But, last week, were you on the zone when you gave that dude a not so fast, my friend moment that was putting Michigan down? I'm like, dude, I said to myself, are you kidding me? Michigan has just beat Ohio State for the 3rd time. How many y'all won the conference 3 years in a row now?
Yeah, 3 in a row.
I mean, are you kidding me? Harbaugh's over the hump. Now they're messing with him back and forth. And just right quick, I'll go back to the you're stealing my sign stuff. What are these people thinking that are complaining about that? What I would do is put some dummy signs out there. I'd keep using those same signs and then have something like, we're going to run right up the middle. No, we're going deep. I mean, are you kidding me?
Well, here's the funny thing about this, okay?
Your advantage.
2 weeks before the Rose Bowl, Saban hired a guy that was Michigan's linebacker coach just a few months ago, George Hilo. He hired him on the staff. Nobody said anything about that. Presumably, that guy knew some of our signs. He knew some of our tendencies. It didn't seem to make any difference because we blew up their offensive line 6 times and sacked Milroe. And took it to him.
He knew Michigan. I agree with you, but no one said a word about that.
Well, Justin said on the zone an hour ago, he said, there's much too much made of this. Good grief. It's a big nothing burger. I mean, Ohio State, nobody's whined more about this in the last year than Ohio State. And I'm like, go back and look at the last 3 years, and the fact that we've thrown your linemen around like rag dolls has had a lot more to do with the fact then allegedly we knew some of your signs.
It would be the reverse, though, if it was Ohio State, which had the sign stealing, and then the outside perspective.
No, it wouldn't.
From Michigan fans, yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't from me. I'd say he ran over us.
From Michigan fans, and that includes you as a Michigan fan, but
it doesn't include me.
When you look at a majority of Michigan fans, it would be the same way against Ohio State.
Football is still a game of violence, okay? Violence. And we've been more violent than any of these other teams. And I think we're going to be violent tonight. So,
but Pigskin, I loved it, man, because I was waiting. Okay, Pigskin, when you going to say something? And finally you got him, my man. So I was happy for that.
I appreciate it.
Hold on there, buddy. You're not giving Michigan a good chance because he was. After about the 4th or 5th thing he said, about.
Oh, it was the guy. It was the guy from Vegas. Yeah, it was the guy last Friday from. It was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Justin yelled at me. Said, "Pigskin, you can't be rude to the guest." I said, I just said this guy's telling us we got no shot. I mean, what do you mean we got no shot? Of course we got a shot. I mean,
if you play the game, you have a shot.
Yeah, I mean, Washington's got a shot. I mean, everybody can see that.
Oh, Washington, I was loving that. Thank you. And I will say once again, thank you, Washington, for knocking the puke burn orange out of there.
Hey, appreciate it, Hogg Wild.
The only thing disappointing about Texas losing is that we didn't get to beat them. Because I'd have loved that. I would get a lot more enjoyment out of beating Texas than I would out of beating Washington.
So Dale in Conway says, how many games have you watched, Pigskin, of Washington besides last week?
Several. I watched both Oregon games. I watched the Apple Cup with Washington State. We played them a couple of years ago. You really want to push this meme, my man? I've watched a lot more Washington games than you and your 20 friends have. I can guarantee you that.
Also, Southern Structural Solutions text line, Pigskin, the reason people hate Michigan is the same reason people hate Ohio State, Texas, and Notre Dame. They're always overhyped.
Oh, are they? Are they overhyped? So if we win tonight, are you going to call in and say we were overhyped?
He didn't say overrated. He said overhyped.
Overhyped?
Like
What?
you always hear about them.
Some little dude came up to me at church yesterday before the sermon. I said, hey, you got anything to say about Alabama now? He goes, yeah. Georgia would have beaten you. I'm like,
yeah, that makes no sense.
I'm like, I'll beat a little kid,
let's
man.
not talk about hypotheticals.
I'll beat a little kid right before church.
Yeah,
right before communion.
Don't talk about hypotheticals. You leave them where they are.
Thank you.
More of Out of Bounds coming up after this break. From the Hogs Meat Market Studio, Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher. Stay tuned.
Big O Tires believes in straight talk. So what would you do with an extra $100? Shopping, road trip, steak dinner? Right now at the Conway and Cabot Big O Tires, get $100 instant savings on all Big O brands of tires with the best warranty in the industry. 3-year free replacement on road hazard conditions, workmanship, and material defect. Free flat repair, free rotate and balance, and roadside assistance. Save $100 now and get tires, service, and straight talk at the Big O Tires in Conway and Cabot.
MNB is proud to be serving Central Arkansas. No matter where you are in life, it's nice to know you have a partner when it comes to banking. Whether it's buying that first home, growing your business, or planning for retirement, we understand that everyone's challenges are different. At MNB, we can guarantee a great personal banking experience. Let us work to help you with your next life moment. Stop into one of our many locations and let us show you what community banking is really like. Visit us online at mnbbank.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hear that? The sound of adorable little birds in your garden. And if you were here, you'd taste the 2 sweet but tiny tomatoes you grew all by yourself. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens when you're riding your motorcycle, protected by Progressive, on your way to the store for a pack of normal-sized tomatoes. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without getting your hands dirty. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Is your marriage over? Assets? Debts? Custody? For divorces, hire the Lions. There's no one better to protect your pride than our pride of Legal Lions. Exceptional communication and exceptional results in both the negotiating room and the courtroom. Lion Legal, the legal pride of Arkansas. Call 227-ROAR and Lion Legal will come roaring to the rescue.
Imagine it's the final game of the season, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are making a comeback. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
You've heard it here on The Buzz several times. Gary Hill MSS Oil, there hasn't been an oil man specialist like this since Who Shot JR. Well, we figured out who shot JR, and he wasn't even shot. He was caught at Splash Car Wash getting an oil change, full detail, and wash. All the Ewings were there. JR, Sue Ellen, Bobby, Pam, Miss Ellie. Get your oil changed the next time you're at Splash and let them know JR, I mean Gary Hill, sent you. Call Gary Hill MSS Oil at 501-200-7089.
There's only one place to stop for the best in meats in Central Arkansas. It's Hogg's Meat Market. Check out their monthly package deals of the best meats online at hoggsmeatmarket.com. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Yeah. And you say Shot City? Shot City? Shot City? I'm coming home again. Do you think about me now and then? Yeah. Do you think about me now and then? 'Cause I'm coming home again. I met this girl when I was 3 years old, and what I love most, she had so much soul. She said, excuse me, little homie, I know you don't know me, but my name is Wendy, and I like to and from that point, I never blow her off. Come from out of town, I like to show her off. They like to act tough, she like to tone them off and make them straighten up their hat, 'cause she know they soft. And when I grew up, she showed me how to go. And at nighttime, my face lit up, so astounding. I told her, and my heart is where she always be. She never messed with.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher. It is a weekend recapping what happened over the sports weekend. If you want to get into the show, you can call 501-661-1037. Talking about the national championship game tonight, NFL results over the weekend. NFL playoffs are set now, so there's plenty going on there. Gangster Museum of America, life and feedback. You can get in that way, or you can text Southern Structural Solutions text line 501-661-1037. Clay and Conway says on Southern Structural Solutions text line, does Michigan get an asterisk if they win the game tonight?
No. Maybe with Clay and Conway they do. They don't with Chuck and Little Rock.
He's just asking the question. He didn't say that he agreed with it. He just asked.
Well, you go to Columbus and they would say that. But, you know, that song, who was that song on the bumper music right there?
That's Ye.
Ye. That's Ye?
Yeah.
Well, I think Ye was talking about Ohio State because he said they soft. So I didn't know Ye had a song about the Ohio State Buckeyes and how soft they are. So there you go.
We have a message here. I'm rooting for Washington, mostly because of Pigskin.
Good. You're going to be sad tonight, punk.
We got plenty of comments here, and they just keep going on and on. But mostly it's people that are trying to get to you at this point, I think, because they think you're wound up.
If my team were 4-8 and sitting at home, I'd try to get to somebody too. So, you know, you got to find your entertainment where you get it. So, you know, I get that, but don't be hating.
What's your guys' opinion on the weather and how that's going to affect the Dolphins Saturday night in KC? So it's going to be brutal. It's going to be in the teens and below maybe. And it's going to be really cold, windy, kind of like it feels here now, but it's going to be a lot colder.
I'm going to cite some history for you, my man, okay? But was it 1981, 82-ish?
Yes,
about then?
Chargers and Bengals.
The Chargers were riding high. They went down to Miami. They had an epic game. Dan Fouts, Kellen Winslow, beautiful game. And then they were rewarded by having to go for the AFC Championship game to Cincinnati, Ohio. And I think the wind chill that day was about 40 or 50 below zero, and they had no chance.
You think about the extremes, too. They played a game in the humidity, got worn out, went into overtime.
That's my point.
And then they go play in the cold.
So Miami
after that.
just had a tough one last night. They wanted to win, keep the home field. They're going in to Kansas City. It's going to be the frozen tundra. I think Miami's got very, very little shot in this game.
I think I'm going to have to lean the other way on this one. I think Miami has a pretty good shot, but I don't think the weather is exactly helping them. I just think that it will force them to actually play to some of Tua's strengths. Because, I think they're better whenever they rely on the run game mostly, and then letting Tua come out of the play action, kind of scramble around a little bit, especially in snow. I could see him making a few guys miss out there.
The only thing about the Dolphins is they need to be able to run between the tackles, which they can run outside and between the tackles, but a lot of their plays, you see they go east and west before going north. And they want to be able to get between those tackles. They have really good formations, really good play designs, where you are throwing some misdirection at the defense. And we saw them controlling the game early last night because of it. But then, they had some plays where the Bills got fortunate and they were able to go on and win the game. They took control from that point.
We're really learning, too, that a quarterback can change the entire course of your season. Going into this NFL season, the Texans were ranked the second lowest odds to make the Super Bowl at like 20,000, something like that on DraftKings. It was insane. And now C.J. Stroud has them in the playoffs. So I'm going to argue it just depends on which version of Tua we get. Do we get maybe the first 6-7 weeks Tua, the guy that looks like he could have been an MVP type? Or do we get the guy who is a little more banged up, a little more less sure of himself?
Okay, Ethan, since you brought him up, we need to explore this for just a second. I had this guy the other day, like you. Well, I got to think Washington's going to win this game. I said, well, why do you think that? Well, because they got that quarterback that can really spin it and all those NFL wide receivers. I said, yeah, they're good. I said, you mean like the last 2 years that Ohio State had C.J. Stroud and all those NFL wide receivers? How'd we do against them?
It's a good point. I'd argue that's some kind of Ohio curse. No.
Is that what you'd argue?
No, no.
You got Olave and Njigba and Marvin Harrison. I mean, Washington's guys are good. They're not any better than those guys, and we've beaten them 3 straight years.
Well, my only thing is it's not necessarily like, who has the best wide receivers in the league? Oh, that's the guy that's playing in the Super Bowl. I don't really see that as a one-to-one comparison. I think the total package that Washington brings into this game is going to make McCarthy look kind of scared on defense, dude. They're going to throw all kinds of different packages at him, and I can't wait to see that dude get kind of lit up back there.
With the 100th rated defense in the country, and now all of a sudden they're the steel curtain of Jack Lambert and Joe Green. Okay, well, that's interesting.
I am not.
I don't think there's a lick of plausibility to it, but
they
it's
are
interesting.
an opportunistic defense. So they're not the best defense out there, but they do make plays.
Make enough
capable.
plays to win. I'll give you an example. The last play of the game against Texas. That defensive back came over and did something brilliant for Washington. He didn't try to pick it. He didn't try to out-wrestle the guy. He just knocked the ball away.
What you're supposed to do.
Perfect technique right there. So, yeah, I'd give you that, but I hardly doubt that I really don't think that McCarthy is quaking in fear right now.
No.
If you think that, you haven't watched Michigan play much, son.
No. I'm not saying McCarthy is quaking or anything like that, but seriously, let's see him behind that line tonight. Let's see Washington's packages. I'm really intrigued by this matchup.
Gangster Museum of America Life and Feedback Gridiron Chick says the potential for Michael Penix Jr. going in the draft, what team and why? So you look at a number of teams that are at the top of the draft. The draft order has been released. Chicago Bears are number 1, so you have the Bears at 1, but they could go a bunch of different directions where they may not take a quarterback. They may trade back out of that position, but then when you're talking about 2 and 3, Commanders and Patriots, those would be a couple of the teams to look out for, where you start getting into some teams that are going to take serious looks at quarterbacks, and then from there, you don't know what can happen as far as teams trying to trade up and get into certain spots.
So since you brought it up, who are the first 6 quarterbacks off the board in this draft?
First 6? Wow, that's going deep.
Caleb Williams,
Penix, McCarthy is going to be in there.
Jaden Daniels,
so that's 4.
May from not May.
Yeah.
Yeah, May from North Carolina. Drake May.
And then 6 is going to be up in the air from there. Yeah. You got a 6 guy?
Bo Nix, maybe?
Yeah.
He might slide in there.
Yeah, well, if you're talking top 6, then yeah, he's in that top 6 right now.
I'm not
and you hear how when Bo Nix was mentioned, we're all like, but he's in there.
I'm not convinced McCarthy's leaving. I think he will, but
if Harbaugh leaves, he's going. You think he'll stay around with the next coaching staff?
I didn't think Blake Corum was going to stay around, or the rest of these guys. We've got 9 starters that are in their 5th or 6th year. There's a ton of it. They like it there. They built a good culture. They're having fun.
If those guys, especially if they win, they need to go out on top and
That's what
capitalize
Charles
on it.
Woodson did, and you can't argue with that. Yeah, how are you going to do better than the national championship? So,
More of Out of Bounds coming up after this break. It's hour 2 from the Hoggs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher. Stay tuned.
Are you still on the sidelines? Then it's time you suit up and get in the game. Download Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app, Bet Saracen, today.
Join the Zone each weekday for the Entertainment Report, brought to you by Bell & Sword of Conway. Find out the very latest breaking news and entertainment each day on the Zone. Justin, West, and Christian will dish out what the stars and celebrities have going on, and you can catch it each day. Bell & Sword has everything for the best-dressed man. From boots to suits, check them out on Facebook or Instagram. Bell & Sword at their new and larger location at 1011 Oak Street.
If you're looking to update your home decor, then go see our friends at Coffin by Design West. At Coffin by Design West, they have design specialists on staff that can help you with your decisions on any updates to your home. They have over 7,000 square feet of beautiful new home decor pieces such as sofas, dining tables, design throw pillows, lighting, and chairs that arrive daily. For those of you who like the aromatique candles, you can find those and also gift cards. Located out west past Taylor Loop, 14900 Cantrell Road, or go to the web at coffinlumber.com.
Breaking news, information, big name guests, entertainment, and sports. It's all right here on 103.7 The Buzz, KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with Channel 7's Ryan Houston.
Cleveland County Sheriff's Office charged Jackie Meredith with 1 count of tampering for the death of her husband back on September 17th of 2022. On that day, deputies got a call and were sent to a boat at Greer's Ferry Lake to investigate a possible suicide. When they got there, they found Timothy Meredith dead from a gunshot wound. During the investigation, police found Jackie's statements did not match the evidence. The police issued a warrant and Jackie turned herself in. The Faulkner County NAACP is holding an emergency meeting following an incident at a Conway Entertainment Center. The meeting is from 7 to 8 p.m. at the McGee Center in Conway. It happened at Mally's, located at 1040 Mally Curve in Conway. Police have not said exactly what happened. This is an ongoing investigation. For more news and weather, download the free KTV News and Weather apps. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Ryan Houston.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
We are going to see rain today and quite a bit of it. Cool and windy, too, with a high of only 48 degrees. Could be a few thunderstorms in the afternoon, but severe weather not expected. And tonight's low drops down to 39. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Eat My Catfish is finally back open for business in the Breckenridge Village Shopping Center starting Tuesday. And you're invited to help celebrate this special grand reopening as the Zone broadcasts live from there. There'll be a ribbon cutting, door prizes, giveaways, and a chance to win a catering valued at $250. It's a celebration that you won't want to miss. It's the Zone at Eat My Catfish at Breckenridge on Tuesday.
Arkansas, the wait is over. Brewski's North is officially open for business in the Lakewood Village Shopping Center. Doors open at 11 a.m. with all of your pub grub favorites and happy hour drink specials. Come get your grub on with the all-new Smash Burger lineup, best wings in the city with 11 different sauces, or try the new additions to the menu like the spicy Asian chicken salad. Live music starts the weekend every Thursday with karaoke every Friday and Saturday. Brewski's North, you home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Some of those old injuries, they begin to creep up and things begin to start hurting again. I finally got to the point where I'm like, I can't just wake up and know my knee's going to be bothering me and push through this on a daily basis.
Old football injuries can't keep former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter down. So he decided to check out the all-natural regenerative pain treatments at QC Kinetics.
I was fortunate enough to obviously sit down with QC and kind of understand your body still has the ability to heal in it. We just need to give it a little bit of a boost.
Exactly. QC Kinetics concentrates your body's own healing agents in your painful hips, shoulders, knees, or back.
Everyone can say, well, you need to replace this or replace that, but it's no surprise to see people being willing to try this first, especially when it has such great results.
QC Kinetics treatments take place the same day right in the office. No downtime. Call today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
Tune in to Out of Bounds each Monday for Reaction Monday, brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years, they're your small to mid-sized fleet specialists. Fleet Management Services is looking for a maintenance tech. Oil changes, tires, general maintenance. 100% paid health insurance, match 401k, paid holidays, paid vacation. The right person can make $600 per week. Call 501-375-3672.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Courtney Cronin.
Doing away with all of the bowl games that will not be part of the 12-team playoff is an awful idea. Not every team is going to contend for a national championship, and that's okay. But that still doesn't mean your season's meaningless if you don't win the Natty. In my way of fixing this, if you get blown out in your bowl game, it affects your placement for next year. So Florida State, if you want to be upset about what happened, 63-3, okay, but then that is going to be ultimately what determines like a tiebreaker for next year, and it's going to affect your positioning for next year, maybe how you start in the conference. You have to incentivize something because the opt-outs are not going to go away. I mean, not with the transfer portal, not with guys continuing to go to the NFL. There has to be a way to penalize teams as it affects next year's season based on the bowl game.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Limitations apply.
Hey, Brent, love the color. If you had to choose, would you watch paint dry or compare benefits plans?
Compare benefits plans, obviously.
But you know how complicated benefits are, right?
Well, I run payroll with Gusto. Gusto makes it easy to find benefits like medical, dental, and vision for my whole team.
Whoa! Oh, sorry. I'm gonna need new glasses.
Don't worry, you're covered.
Choose benefits without the mess. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Live from the Hogg's Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. 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 Who that thinking that he frontin' on that man?
Welcome back to Out of Bounds from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Briggs, Pigskin Preacher. It is a weekend recap brought to you by Fleet Management Services. We're talking about whatever happened over the weekend. And NFL playoffs are set. National championship game tonight. Washington, Michigan. That's at 6:30. And plenty to recap from the weekend. But also, we're going to get into what's trending in the world of sports. And there's a lot going on there also.
What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
What's trending in sports? Draymond Green. He's back. And he said that he had some time to reflect when he was suspended indefinitely. And listen to, it may surprise some people as to the direction that Draymond went in.
I had a conversation with Adam Silver, commissioner of our league. And I just told him, Adam, it's too much for me. Like, it's too much. Like, this is too much. It's all becoming too much for me. And I'm going to retire. And Adam said, you're making a very rash decision. And I won't let you do that. And I'm like, no, Adam, like, not really sure it's a rash decision. It's just all too much. And, you know, we had a long, great conversation, very helpful to me. Very thankful to play in a league with a commissioner like Adam, who's more about helping you than hurting you, or helping you than punishing you, or, you know, he's more about the players. And so I'm very lucky to have, or to be in a position to be under the guidance of an Adam Silver, of a Joe Dumars, of someone who's been really close to me hand throughout as I've been walking through this, Bob Myers. I mean, for the first 5-7 days of this thing, I talked to him two times a day. And I've always said, like, Bob is, our relationship goes far past him being our general manager. And I said that when he was our general manager.
So Draymond said that he had thoughts of retirement when he was sitting around and he had a chance to gather his thoughts and just reflecting back on everything. He wanted to step away from the game.
I wish he would. Then I wouldn't have to hear from him anymore.
Oh, no, you'd have to hear from him probably more.
If he weren't playing, then nobody would pay attention to
they would.
What his dumb mouth had to say.
Yeah, they would, because first of all, he broke that on the podcast, the Draymond Green podcast.
I never heard
he's going to
of
keep
that.
doing that. And then TNT, he's a correspondent for TNT while he's playing. So once he's done playing, what do you think he's going to do?
Well, he better not hit Barkley. Barkley would whip his behind. That's what I would recommend to him. Barkley ain't going to Shaq would step on him. It's a shame Draymond never met Kermit Washington, okay? That would have been a really good meeting.
It's funny how those guys always talk about fighting each other, Shaq and Barkley, because they did have a fight.
Oh, Shaq could kill Barkley.
Well, did you see? They've had a fight before.
No way.
Shaq's
He threw the ball right off Shaq's head. It's hilarious. I recommend checking it out.
They talk about it all the time. Yeah, they always show clips from that. He threw the ball and hit Shaq, and Shaq swung and he missed. Barkley ducked, he missed. But if he would have connected.
Oh, my goodness. Shaq is too big to fight. How are you going to hurt the guy? He's just, Draymond, there's somebody out there going to whip Draymond one of these days. He hadn't found, because he keeps fighting these guys that can't whip him. I mean, Jordan Poole is not going to do anything, or that Euro guy, but, yeah. Draymond
and LeBron isn't going to fight him.
No, LeBron's too much of a citizen to fight him. And
they're friends now, too.
Well, Draymond's got too much Saginaw in him, man. Saginaw's a rough town. Sag nasty. I mean, that's how they are in the Genesee Valley Conference. So, yeah.
Honestly, going back to Draymond's quote specifically, though, is that not the classiest thing that you've ever heard come out of his mouth? I mean, giving credit to people and really highlighting those that I feel like that weren't getting a lot of credit. I mean, Joe Dumars, I think of the Pistons still. I don't think of him as an active role in the NBA today. So it's just really cool to see Draymond shouting out a few guys who have really helped him.
Okay, two things. One, do you believe anything he said? Number two, how much self-serving of an attitude is in that, because you do realize what Dumar's job is, don't you? He's in charge of NBA discipline.
Right.
So if I kiss up to the guy that might suspend me for a year, maybe he won't suspend me that long.
Personally, I'd argue not a better man for the job, by the way. Joe Dumars, I mean, that dude was breaking up fights on the court like half his career.
Well,
So
that
he's
was just
pretty
in
good at it.
practice. Forget about the games. Yeah, Joe was on some rough teams. Those dudes didn't play games.
Your first question again, Pigskin?
Do you believe anything that he said?
Yeah, I believe some of it. Now, obviously, I'll have to see his actions whenever he's back on the court, but I just want to see him get on the court and play basketball. I think that once
Do you
he
think
got
he's
hold of the
capable
ball-
of that?
Yeah, I do believe so.
You don't think within a month he's not fighting somebody or
Well,
choking somebody out or punching
Within
somebody?
a month, no. In 2 months, probably so.
There you go, right there. That's what I was leaning
Well,
toward.
I'm not going to argue, that Draymond is going to suddenly become a great guy. Okay, I'm not going to argue that. But I've seen him be a part of a winning culture and not be a problem, for years and years and years. Eventually, he did become a problem, right, with the Kevin Durant situation, all that stuff. I just think I want to see his actions before I'm judging him so harshly on this one. I'm usually down to make fun of him.
We've
but on
been
this one,
watching
I'm
his
down.
actions for 12 years. I mean, how much more do we need to see?
12 years wasn't always this, though. I mean, I think the first thing that happened was like him kicking Steven Adams in the groin area. That was the first time.
He's lucky Steven Adams didn't kill him.
Well, Steven Adams is a great guy, but that's the thing is like everybody can turn a corner at any point, Pigskin. I'm not trying to be serious.
You're
here, but
telling a
truly.
preacher this, young man.
You
I
find
kind of
physical
traffic
violence
in
on me in
this.
the
Okay,
first segment.
repent and thou shalt be saved. I'm just saying I'm not really sure Draymond is sufficiently penitent, is what I'm saying.
No. Well, okay. So what would your recourse be for him? What would you see as sufficient punishment?
Okay. Talk is cheap. How about shut your mouth, come back when your suspension is over, and quit causing fights, and quit stepping on people, and quit punching people?
He can't. He can't.
would've
That's in his
rather-
nature.
He can. That's who he is. That's what I'm saying.
That's why he had thoughts of retiring, because
He's basically, that's right. He's basically saying, I got to quit. It's too much. I can't come back and not choke
be me.
dudes out.
Well,
that's it.
He's like he can't come back and not be who he is.
Bingo, right there. That is what I was trying to say in 2 sentences or less.
That Gobert situation, in my opinion, should have gotten a suspension similar to what Ja got, in my opinion, John Morant. But anyway, I'm going to wait to see the action. But do I believe everything he said? No, but I believe that he's trying to make that change.
With these NFL coaching changes, something that is maybe a bit surprising in the fact that you heard Draymond talk about his relationship with Bob Myers. So with the Washington Commanders, owner Josh Harris said he's going to lean on a couple of former GMs, one being Rick Spielman, who was the GM for the Vikings at one time, but also Bob Myers, who used to be he was the Warriors' former GM. And so you can see that both these guys have been leaders, and Josh Harris is leaning on a couple of guys who've been leaders in the past, but Draymond talked about that relationship with Bob Myers. So not only is he leaning on him, but Josh Harris, owner of the Commanders, is going to get some advice from Bob Myers, who's a basketball guy, but he's been in the leadership role, so he's going to get some advice from him and help him in the coaching search.
Well, they better leave Rick Spielman out of it, because if Draymond had anything to do with Rick Spielman, Spielman would probably have him sidelined for the next 3 years, if not trading him. Spielman's too much like his brother. He's not going to suffer fools gladly. But both those guys know something about putting a team together. Those Vikings teams were good. I think you can make the case. A lot of that was Cousins. Cousins is just a middling quarterback, and he's never going to win anything. But, that team was pretty solid.
Also, Bill Belichick. He's been getting questioned pretty much every week. What's happening with him? And we've seen coaching changes so far with the Falcons, Commanders, Chargers, Raiders, Panthers, and the Patriots. That's one that's kind of up in the air, and we'll see what happens there. But here's what Bill Belichick had to say about what's going to happen with him.
As far as the future goes, I'll sit down with Robert, as I do every year at some point at the end of the season, and we'll talk about things as we always do. I'm sure that'll happen. But that's really about all I have to say about that right now, because there's anything else to talk about.
Bill, coming off the field today, did you have any different feelings about the end of today coming off that field?
Disappointed about the way the game turned out, sure. Yeah, leave it at that.
Do you expect to be coaching the team here next year?
It's disappointing the way the game finished, yeah.
Bill, is it your preference to come back next season and coach the team?
Yeah, so I just finished the game here with the Jets, put everything I had into it, and I'm disappointed in the results.
It's our understanding that you're under contract for next year. Is it your hope to come back? And
I just finished the game with the Jets, Phil. This is put everything I had into it this week and try to prepare our team the best I could to play in it.
And Bill Belichick also did allude to the fact that he's open to change. And he's a guy that he is controlling personnel for the Patriots. So he's choosing all the players, but he said he's open to change and open to someone coming in to take over that part of it where he can just concentrate on coaching. That's if he stays with the Patriots.
I'm guessing he's gone. Where would you think he lands? Because he clearly wants to keep coaching for a little bit longer.
Chargers would be probably the ideal spot for him. Maybe Commanders. Mm-hmm. So those two would probably be at the top of the list. Now, you're going to have certain owners that they're going to come after him. They're going to want to see what their organization could look like if he's in control, a guy who has a history of winning, guy who has a history of putting it all together, maybe the best coach ever. So Arthur Blank, the Falcons owner, could be somebody that comes after him.
That's interesting. He used to live in the Washington area. You know, his dad being at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, right down the road. I mean, you get the feeling if Washington brought in somebody that had some discipline and some common sense, they could be a lot better. There's some pretty good, pieces in place there, but I don't know. They're going to figure out what they're going to do with quarterback. You know, do they stay with Howell? Do they go to one of the young guys? I mean, who knows? I really thought for a while there Mac Jones was going to be a pretty good heir to Brady until he wasn't.
And Belichick says when he was asked about possibly giving up some of those personnel, the control to the personnel, he says, I'm for whatever we collectively decide as an organization is the best for our football team. Whatever that process is, I'm only a part of it. He said, I learned a lesson from my dad growing up. You work for the team that you're working for and do the best you can for it until somebody tells you different. So that's not going to change. He's all in on the Patriots.
Can you see some general manager half his age telling him who they're going to draft and who they're going to play? I can't see it.
Can't see it, but if that's part of the deal and he agrees to it, then that's what's going to happen.
Saying it is one thing, doing it is another.
You're absolutely right on with that, because you can say all you want to say, and then actions always speak louder than words on that.
Chargers got to be the best landing spot, by the way, right? I mean, collectively we all think that. The Chargers have to be the closest to contention.
Because of all the talent that they have on both sides of the ball. They have a franchise quarterback.
Bosa.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some pieces. James. They do.
Yep.
Southern Structural Solutions text line. The Pigskin just allude that it's Razorback fans by saying if my team was 4-8, he didn't allude to anything. He was talking about Razorback fans.
Because who do you think's giving me all the trouble? They got mad because Alabama got beat. I mean, that's not. Why is any Razorback fan care two hoots about what happens to Alabama? I've never understood that.
They shouldn't directly, but it does go back to your point about SEC. Want to see the SEC.
It's idiotic. Nobody else does that.
Right.
As long as Alabama is good, that hurts Arkansas. When Alabama ceases to be good, that will help Arkansas.
And every other team in the
conference.
conference.
How am I the only guy that gets this? And nobody else seems to get it. I'm rooting for Alabama, I guess. I'm like, well, yeah, you guess. I mean, that's what a wonderful society you'll build together.
I don't know if everybody is just openly rooting for Alabama, but that some people out there, they do want to see the conference.
I took my car in for an estimate last week because I backed into a rock going down this old lady's driveway. Okay, the guy doing the estimate sees the thing and they're, oh, Michigan, you're a Michigan fan. Yeah, I guess you're pretty excited about the game. I said, yeah. Well, I got to root for the SEC. I said, why do you got to root for the SEC? Well, and he looked really puzzled. Well, I don't really know. You don't have to root for anybody, okay? Now, you can say, I hope Michigan drops dead, a perfectly acceptable position. But you can also say that about Alabama, because Alabama, let's just be honest, they've tormented the Razorbacks a lot more than Michigan has. That's who you should dislike. So, again, if you don't understand this, I don't know what else I can say to you. So
Southern Structural Solutions text line, Jig Jack says, I'm a huge Hogg fan, and I've been picking Michigan all year, especially if they were injury-free. Good luck, Pigskin, on Michigan winning tonight. Washington is a good team, but if Michigan beats them tonight, you deserve it. You deserve to win that championship.
That's very nice. I appreciate that.
And we have another message that says, Washington 24, Michigan 9. Take that, Pigskin.
9?
9.
We're going to score 9 points.
Yeah,
Did you really think he believes that?
With J.J. McCarthy? Yeah.
Wow.
Ethan, again, this glass is not bulletproof. I'm just trying to tell you, son.
Let's go through the phones and talk to Savage. What's up, Savage?
What's going on, fellas? You doing all right?
Doing great.
Hey, Pigskin, I'm with you. I hate every SEC school.
Thank you, Savage.
I don't follow them. I don't root for them. And I hope they all do bad. Every one of them.
Savage, you're a great
That's all I got.
American. A great American.
Appreciate it, Savage. Also, Southern Structural Solutions text line. Not sure that this is right, but someone says, my God is a loving God, which is definitely right. But he goes on to say he loves Washington. And
Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. And I will lay my vengeance upon you. Samuel L. Jackson, Pulp Fiction.
It's just fun to be able to talk about the game going into it. And at this point, like you were talking about, Pigskin, you get a little bit anxious. And it almost seems like this time can't go by fast enough. You just want to get to the game, man, and not really you're stuck in this moment of talking about it and talking it up. You want to get to the game. You want to see what happens, and then let everything, as the result there, take shape and take form, and then be able to talk about it from there. Not that you want to just continue to be able to break it down, but with the hours we have ahead of us, that's all we can do right now.
Yeah, there is.
So you're just ready. You're just ready to get to it.
Personally, if I am going to offer a score prediction, I think I'm going to roll with Washington 27 and Michigan 18.
That's a good prediction.
So
just some
we
weirdness.
scored 27 points on Alabama. Presumably they have a better defense than Washington. We scored 30 on Ohio State. Their defense is better. We scored 24 on Penn State. Their defense is better. Why are we only going to score 9 or 18 or whatever low figure you guys are coming up with?
I'm not saying Washington is better than Alabama every game of the year, but I think against you guys it's a good match. I'm serious. I'm serious. Hey,
Why'd you invite him in?
I'm going against you guys.
We couldn't have gotten
every step of the
Toddy
way.
P or somebody. I mean, really, you got to bring in this.
Yeah, because we love his opinion. His opinion
Well, if
matters.
he says one thing intelligent, then then I'll be the first to know. Yeah, so we got the 100-and-something rated defense, and they're just going to shut us down. We'll be lucky to make a first down. I'm like, do you even hear yourself?
I didn't say you'd be lucky to have a first
Oh,
down.
good
I'm
grief,
saying
son.
McCarthy is not going to look nearly as good as he has all season long.
Give me your
good.
phone number because after the game, I'm calling you tonight. Okay, We're not even going to let the sun set on this kind of nonsense. Okay,
Hey, that could go the other way now. You realize
it
that.
could.
I'll call you. Come on now.
That could go the other way.
I'm not sure you'll be smart enough to dial the phone given that analysis that you just gave.
He's
but
gonna block
hey,
me. That's what's going to happen, Joe. If they lose, he's going to block. I'm going to go straight to voicemail.
Have you ever blocked anybody? No, sure you haven't, right?
Yeah, blocked your old partner.
Really?
Yeah, on Twitter.
Well, I'm talking about phone.
On a phone?
Somebody
yeah,
that
I blocked a few people. I
Really?
blocked telemarketers and people that say we're only going to score 18 points against Washington.
never blocked anybody.
Automatic block.
Never blocked anybody.
Really?
There's no need to. Just don't answer the phone.
Well, but yeah,
Just
but
avoid
if
it.
you got a block, then you don't have to even have to fool with it.
Sometimes you do see those notifications coming through, and you know that somebody you blocked is still trying to get you. You do know that.
No, about one person we had in common. He was annoying me years ago, and I said something to Davenport, and he laughed it off. I said, how about this? I never have anything to do with him the rest of my life. How about that? Well, you can't do that. I said, bet. And I did.
We're gonna,
that's a Michigan thing.
Exactly. We're going to leave on
All right.
bet.
Bet.
And that's a
BET.
That's one of those things that the kids like. Kids appreciate bet. We're going to come back with more of Out of Bounds on the other side of this break. Stay tuned. From the Hogs Meat Market Studio, Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher.
Ever wanted to watch our beautiful faces while you also listen to your favorite shows on The Buzz? Now you can. All your favorite Buzz shows are streaming live on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter pages. 103.7 The Buzz, your multimedia fun and game station.
This is SportsCenter.
In college basketball over the weekend, Arkansas got throttled by Auburn, losing 83-51 at home. After the game, Coach Eric Musselman was blunt with his team.
I mean, when you lose by 30, we could go all the way around the room, and each of you could pick a different area, and you would all be right. We stunk in all areas. I don't know. Transition defense. What about Johnny Broome in the second? I can go on and on. Yeah, we stunk.
Arkansas plays again on Wednesday when they travel to Georgia. For more Arkansas basketball news, listen to Eric Musselman live tonight at 7 on The Buzz. And Little Rock fell to Eastern Illinois on Saturday, 90-88. The first Little Rock Coaches Show of the season will be tonight at 7 on 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
It's the Average Guy Movie Review, Thursdays in the Zone, with me, Justin Acree, and Wes Moore, presented by Rock and Roll Sushi. Our friends from Rock and Roll Sushi will come in and recap or look ahead to what's trending on TV, the big screen, Netflix, or wherever you get your entertainment. It's presented by Rock and Roll Sushi, deliciously twisted flavors and a rock and roll vibe that'll blow your mind. rockandrollsushi.com.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody. QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
I'm super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
For a free insurance review, see Shelter agent Jeff Hodge or Jay Helm in Little Rock or Bo Beavis in Cabot.
New Year's means new equipment for you and your loved ones from River Valley Tractor, your leading Kubota dealers in Central Arkansas. Start your countdown at River Valley Tractor with big savings on Kubota compact tractors and implements built to last you through all your seasons. Ring in the new year with River Valley Tractor in Bryant, Sherwood, Conway, Russellville, and Pine Bluff. Visit rivervalleytractor.com today.
For all the times you multitask, Malvern National Bank has technology to make banking easier. When you need to transfer travel money into your account while on the go. When you need to pay your friends back for lunch. When you need to check the balance on your account. When you need to locate the nearest branch or ATM. Or when you need to deposit a check and don't have time to go to the bank. Simple to use website tools and apps at your fingertips. To find out more, visit mnbbank.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Make it the event that everyone wants to attend by getting your meat for tailgates, parties, or just family get-togethers at Hogg's Meat Market. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds from the Hoggs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher, If you want to get into the show, you can call 501-661-1037. Southern Structural Solutions text line, same number, 501-661-1037. Gangster Museum of America, Life and Feedback. It's a weekend recap brought to you by Fleet Management Services, and we're recapping NFL playoffs. They are set now, and the schedule is as such. You have the Browns taking on the Texans. That's going to be first game on Saturday, and that is an NBC game, so both games are affiliated with Peacock on Saturday. But the second game, Dolphins and Chiefs, is going to be Peacock streaming only. And then when you get into Sunday, you have the Steelers and Bills, Packers, Cowboys, Rams, Lions, and then the Monday night game, it's the Eagles and Bucks. And then you have the number one seeds in the Ravens and Niners. They both have a bye, and they'll be sitting back waiting to see who they play next.
I know we got a lot of time between now and the weekend. But let's go ahead and give first instincts about these games.
Okay, let's start off with Browns and Texans. What are you thinking?
I like Cleveland springing the upset on the road.
Pigskin, again, we disagree. I got to go with the Texans here. C.J. Stroud has been proving it to me every game.
Well, what about when Myles Garrett comes off the edge and busts him upside his pointed head?
Unless he takes his helmet off and hits him in his own head. With
It's going to happen.
Hey, speaking of that, the guy that Myles Garrett did that to is playing some pretty good ball right now in Mason Rudolph.
He really is. How about, though, this? Cooper is going to have a big game with some receiving yards against the Texans.
He's a guy that shows up sometimes. He doesn't always show up.
When he shows up, though, he shows up.
He does.
Okay.
He definitely does.
I will agree with you. There's no one on the Texans defense that's going to be able to stop Amari
No,
Cooper.
he'll name his yardage.
Okay, so for that game, you guys go Browns, Texans.
Yes.
Let's go to the next one, Dolphins and Chiefs. What do you say, Ethan?
Chiefs. I just think they have a proven track record. I trust Mahomes in the playoffs until proven otherwise.
That's the most intelligent thing Ethan has said in an hour and a half. I agree 100%, Ethan. Good job.
So that's where we are with the Saturday games. We're going to get back to it. We're going to go to the phones and talk to 49er John. What's up, 49er John?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing good.
John, what's up, brother?
Preacher, how you doing, brother?
Well, if all these guys would quit telling me Washington's going to turn us every which way but loose, I'd be doing better.
Well, Preacher, I mean, you got to realize the majority of these fans that call in, they haters and they idiots anyway.
Wait. So what? Is there a mirror in front of you right now?
No, Preacher. See, me and you can kind of relate. No one cares about Michigan, just like no one cares about the 49ers.
Exactly.
I mean, they haters. They don't recognize greatness when they see it. They stuck on Jerry Jones and his alcoholic bud in Texas. That's what they love. They support a state that don't give a damn about Arkansas, and an alcoholic that don't give a damn about Arkansas.
A state?
I'm sorry.
I don't know if they support a state. They support the owner who's from Arkansas.
If you are Arkansan and you support anything about Texas, you're a fool. You're a fool. You're a fool because they don't give a damn about us. But
Yeah, go on to the next thing.
I gotta say this, John. I'm not much of a fan of Texas either. So I mean, we got that in common. So, but anyway, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask you, Preacher. You are really unforgiving when it comes to Draymond Green. You're a preacher now.
Draymond's lucky he's not. Draymond's lucky he's not in jail. Okay, if he had done on the street what he did to Jordan Poole, he'd be in jail.
Didn't Benny Hinn and Jimmy Swagger, all of them asked for forgiveness?
And those guys need to be in jail, too. They need to be in jail. All of them did. And if Draymond went to jail, I would go in there and pray with him. I would visit him in jail, but he still needs to be in jail.
So why can't you pray with him outside of that then?
Because I don't believe him. That's why.
Hey, Preacher, you have a strong opinion. Let me get your opinion on Josh Giddey, somebody that no one ever talked about when him and his perverted dating underage girls. What you think about that, Preacher?
I don't support that. I don't support Wander Franco. I mean, date somebody who's of age. Yeah, you know.
Well, no. Wander Franco was getting his just due in the media. Josh Giddey just skated by. He skated by. No one talked about
That's
that.
because they want to dig into the facts. They want to find out what happened there.
No, I don't support any of that, John. I don't support any of that.
Certain other athletes, they dive in before they get the facts, but Josh Giddey somehow got a pass.
No, it wasn't me.
I
It
don't
wasn't me
understand
that
that.
gave it. So
Okay, but then I just don't understand that. But Preacher, I'm as far as this game.
Yeah.
Well, first let me say this, Preacher. This show team play today. I have to wait till January the 20th or the 21st to see who we gonna beat. You know, I have to wait that long. 49ers. I mean, we just been kicking butt all year long, so now we get the rest.
That's a
and
good
wait.
thing. That's what they play for.
Yes, it is. It's a great thing. And listen, I'm putting Dallas on upset alert right now. I'm putting Dallas on upset alert right now.
Green Bay?
Green Bay. I didn't
Really?
stutter.
Really?
Jordan loves that.
I didn't stutter, as well as Detroit. I'm putting Detroit on notice too, upset alert too.
Well, here's the problem with Detroit. That young
Okay.
kid that the Rams have got, the right wide receiver, Puka, he's only
Yeah.
going to have 250 yards against Detroit because they can't stop anybody in the secondary.
And then you have to worry about him and Cooper Kupp.
The only
Combination.
thing, thing that Detroit can do to win this game is outscore these guys because they are not going to slow it. They're not going to stop them. They're not.
Well, neither team has no defense, but I just think the quarterback, Stafford, he's motivated for this game.
Well, maybe
Because there was a
Aiden
lot of
Hutchinson
people in
comes off the corner though and busts him upside his head, like Myles Garrett is
Oh,
going to do to Ethan's boy, Stroud.
Well, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But Preacher, as far as that game tonight,
Yeah.
I'm at a loss, so I'm gonna do a teaser.
Do a
I'm
teaser.
teasing it. I'm doing a teaser, but I'm a teaser it Washington way. But that's going to give me 12 points to work with. And if your boys Michigan want to win within 12, that's fine. But I need Michigan to stay within 12.
Now
I need Michigan to stay within 12.
Now listen, you and Joe are astute observers of all things football, so I'll bring this up. I'm a little nervous about this. The crew that is working the game tonight, the officiating crew, has the highest number of pass interference calls of any crew in college football.
Does Michigan pick up a lot of them to begin with?
No, but I'm saying Washington is going to throw the ball 50 times, and if they call 10 pass interferences, I mean, that could be a game changer. So I'm a little nervous about that.
Well, Preacher, I was listening to this West Coast station. This is about the only show I listen to locally, the number one show right here, Out of Bounds. But other than that, I listen to West Coast stations, and they talking like if Michigan really want to win this game, they'll send a goon in and take a penalty and try to hurt that quarterback.
No, that's not their style.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything.
Yeah, it is.
By any
Is it,
means necessary,
Ethan?
Preacher. By any means necessary, Preacher.
Okay,
Come on now,
Malcolm X,
Preacher.
I appreciate that. But no, we're not going to hurt anybody. Now, if we bust in there and pancake him, these things happen. So,
They do sometimes happen.
Sometimes they do. I don't think that guy,
Well, I
I don't
mean,
think
I'm just saying.
Metellus was trying to hurt Laporta yesterday, but he did. Football injuries happen. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying though. Watch for your guys. It might be a little dirty tonight, but anything goes. It's for a championship.
Well, I would say
wouldn't
this:
care
if Penix weren't in the game, we'd have a lot easier time. There's no two ways because he's playing some great football. He's spinning it.
Well, you could say the same thing about McCarthy on the other side.
No,
they would have
let me put it this
a better
way:
time if he's not playing.
If McCarthy gets hurt, we're losing. Okay, because our backups are terrible. I mean, there's no way in the world we win without McCarthy.
You guys are wrong about McCarthy. He's not a top 6 draft quarterback. That's
Okay,
coming out the league
give
this
us
year.
your top
Okay,
6 then.
what are your 6 then?
Anybody but him. Okay.
Stop
no,
it. Stop.
no.
Come, hey,
No, I'm just saying,
come
you
with
got-
some
you got
facts.
Penix,
If you
got Drake May.
okay.
I would replace this guy with probably the kid out of Arizona.
That kid
He's not going in
that
the draft.
Kid,
he's a freshman.
He can play, but he's not better than McCarthy.
He's just a freshman?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought he was a sophomore or junior. Okay.
No, McCarthy
Well, I
can
guess-
play. He's had a good season.
By default, I guess McCartney. But Preacher, don't let these non-knowledge idiots, majority of them Cowgirl fans, get under your skin, Preacher. You're bigger than that.
Well,
You're bigger than that.
I'm not
And
bigger than
celebrate
that,
your
but I
championship.
appreciate the sentiment. I'm actually smaller than that.
Hey, Preacher, I love the shot you took. What you say, 4-8? Who were you referring to when you said 4-8?
You know who he
Who
was
do you think I was
referring
referring to?
And one thing, and I'm going to preach. I appreciated that you blocked the old host of this show. Good job.
And you're about to get blocked too, and nobody else has been blocked. But let's get back to these matchups. Still, Steelers at Bills. That's the first game on Sunday.
That's not even going to be close.
That's not going to be close. That's the one that has the biggest line, though.
Oh,
according to
the Bills roll in that one. I think that Tomlin did a great job getting that team to the playoffs. I really do.
That's an 11 or 12 win football team. They won 10, but they should have been an 11 or 12 win football team.
Yeah, I just don't see them beating the Bills.
But, yeah, according to Bet Saracen, Bills have the biggest line. They are favored by 10, and the over-under is 35.5. Now, that could have a lot to do with weather.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Pickett for your future, by the way, before I give my pick?
Ethan, not right now.
Okay.
So right now you got to go with Rudolph. You got to go with Mason Rudolph, and he's on a 1-year contract.
Yeah.
So a lot can change with what happens to end the season and what happens next year. And they're going to get a new offensive coordinator, so I do like him with somebody who can call offense.
So let me ask you a question. I know we're going to a break. If you get a chance where they're drafting to snap up J.J. McCarthy, do you pick him up?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Okay, what do you say, Ethan?
I gotta roll with the Bills, but I'm not happy about it.
No, it'd be fine. It'd be fine. I mean, I don't get offended by things like that. You pick against the Steelers all day.
McCarthy's better than Pickett right now.
I don't know about that either.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know.
He is.
Now, we've seen him with a bad offensive coordinator, so that's why I think he is going to be part of the future because they're going to give him a chance to evaluate him with a competent offensive coordinator.
I don't think Bill Walsh could save Pickett.
We'll see.
All right.
Pickett almost reminds me of Trevor Lawrence at times. I hate to say it, but I see shades of it, don't you?
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah, and they both breathe
does.
oxygen. Other than that, no, they don't have anything in common.
We'll be back with more of Out of Bounds after this break from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. It's Out of Bounds.
It's Justin Acri for CertaPro Painters, and I get so excited when I get a chance to call my friends at CertaPro and tell them I've got a new project for them. CertaPro can help take your idea for a project and make it even better. The good thing is you can get on the schedule and get that project started quickly. But it is starting to fill up fast, so you need to get on the schedule ASAP with my friends at CertaPro. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. These folks live in your community and want to help you get the best paint job possible. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
What's better than getting something for free? Winning. Woohoo! And with the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, you get the chance to do both. For $5, you get 3 tickets, a Powerball ticket with Power Play, a Mega Millions ticket, and a free Natural State Jackpot ticket. That's 3 ways to win. So ask for the $5 bundle today. Bundle is eligible with Quick Picks only. Offer ends February 29th. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Thank you, Buzz listeners, for a great 2023. We had a great year because of the support from our loyal Buzz fan base. We could not have done it without you. Chrysler's extended their incentives, and so we're going to keep passing on the savings to you. You'll save up to $13,000 off new Rams this month. Regular cab, quad cab, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. We got the truck you're looking for, and it's on sale. We're taking 10% off every new Ram heavy duty in stock, 2023 and 2024 models. And you'll save up to 15% off the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Every every new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram is priced to move. We'll do whatever it takes to make you a deal. Save up to $13,000 off new Rams this month. We're taking 10% off every new Ram heavy duty in stock. And you'll save up to 15% off the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee. At Fletcher Dodge, you always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. We also promise you a hassle-free buying experience. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
This is Pat Bradley for Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union in their New Year's Auto Loan Special. Listen close, offer ends January 31st. 3.99% interest on 22, 23, and 24 models. No payments for 90 days or up to 84 months financing. Don't delay. The Alcoa Community FCU New Year's Auto Loan Special with rates as low as 3.99% ends January 31st. Get pre-approved online at alcoacommunityfcu.org. Serving Saline, Grant, Garland, Hot Spring, and Perry counties.
Fellas, what's good? Clint Sterner here for Low T Center. Look, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Be sure to schedule your health assessment at Low T Center. They offer the convenience of physician-monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments with an average payment of $150 a month cash pay, including labs and medication. If you don't live near a Low T Center or just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy, baby. Shipping treatments directly to your home. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Get only the best customer service and the best selection of meats at Hogg's Meat Market, where they have sliced boarhead deli meats and cheeses. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher. It is a weekend recap, getting into what happened over the weekend, and we're talking about NFL playoffs that are set, national championship game tonight, Washington, Michigan, coaching changes in the NFL, and we may see more to come. But let's get back to the playoffs, and we have the schedule set. So the second game is Packers-Cowboys on Sunday. That's going to be 3:30 on Fox. How you guys feeling about that one?
You see, I don't think Green Bay's got any shot. Dallas has been world beaters at home, with the exception of the Lions game, which they were gifted. But I think Dallas shows up focused. I think they're ready. Green Bay's outperformed expectations already this year. I didn't see them in the playoffs without Rodgers and with Love, but they've been better than I thought. But I don't think they have enough to beat Dallas on the road.
I'm gonna roll the same way. Got to be the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I think so.
Yeah, Cowboys have played really good at times this season, and even capping off the season yesterday against the Commanders, you could see what they're really capable of. And that was something going into the game that there was some concern, because in years past they haven't played so good against the Commanders on the road, and yesterday it was a different story.
In football, it's hardly the story of one guy, but I'd argue Dak's improvement has been, it's been one of the largest leaps we've seen this season.
It's an MVP-type season.
Absolutely.
He's capable of winning the MVP this year. He'll be a finalist for it. Most people have Lamar Jackson penciled in, but Dak will definitely be a finalist.
Especially with losing Zeke Elliott. Not that he was great his last couple of years, but Pollard hasn't exactly lived up to an NFL running back's expectations, I think, for a season. So I think Dak's, that's the only thing I could see derailing the Cowboys down the stretch, is if Dak maybe wears a little thin and he has to pass to drive him down the field to win a game type situation. I could see that being a drawback.
Rams at Lions. That's going to be a late game on Sunday night on NBC.
Puka has 274 yards receiving, and the Lions win by 2 points.
Okay, so if Puka has that many yards, how many does Amon-Ra St. Brown have?
174. And I think Gibbs has a couple of touchdowns. Montgomery rushes for 90 yards. I think we win.
I think I'm going to roll with the Lions on this one, too. Even without Laporta, I still like their passing game. And the running back is Jahmyr Gibbs. He has been no joke this season. I can't wait to see him in the playoffs.
The Monday night game, now this goes back to Jalen Hurts, his first opportunity to start, and the Eagles made the playoffs. They had to go to Tampa, take on the Bucs. Tom Brady was the quarterback at the time, and they really got shown up. You could see that he needed to grow a lot more. He comes back after that, and they've taken some really big steps since then, made it to the Super Bowl. But now you have an Eagles team that's kind of struggling down the stretch, taking on a Bucs team that just won the division, and they've been up and down all season, but they did what it took to win the division. How you guys see this one?
I think the Eagles are done. I think they've been leaking oil so much. I think Mike Evans has a big game against their secondary. I just can't figure out why they've gone from a Super Bowl favorite or co-favorite with the 49ers to barely eking into the playoffs. I think they're going in the wrong direction, and I don't think they reversed the slide.
I'm going to argue the opposite way. I think the Eagles, they remind me a little bit of the Nuggets before this last postseason run, because the Nuggets were kind of dragging their feet to end the season, and yet they hit the playoffs, and it was like, oh, they're actually that good, as if, because you see all the names on paper, you would expect them to be a championship team. So I think I'm going to roll Philadelphia.
The game tonight, according to Bet Saracen, Michigan is a 4.5-point favorite. The over-under is 55.5. Southern Structural Solutions text line, will the game go over or under?
Over.
Over 55.5. That's a lot of points.
I got to roll under. I bet it's more of a running game, don't you think?
Michigan, if that's the way they're going to control a game, and they've done that plenty this year, then, yeah, it could be that. On their side, you have contrasting styles, though.
34-24.
34-24? Okay. We'll go with that. And also, let's see, there. Well, we'll get back to it. But just overall, for the most part, you guys agree on what's going to happen throughout the playoffs, except for maybe a couple of games there. But should be interesting, and especially with the way that it's set up and just some of the matchups, like the Rams and Lions, where you have teams that traded their quarterbacks, their franchise quarterbacks, and now they play against each other. That's going to be really interesting.
Well, I mean, there's some good storylines there. The old favorite comes back to town, for the guy that they traded for him. Yeah, that's
Tyreek Hill, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins going back to KC. And this is a game that most of the Chiefs fans wanted to see during the season, but we got this matchup in London.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill back in KC.
Man, I hate those games in London and Germany. What are you going over there and playing for? We got perfectly good stadiums over here.
And they're going to Brazil next. Ugh. So they're expanding even more. They're London, Brazil, Mexico. Now they're going Germany. Now they're going to Brazil.
The only way that kind of stuff makes any sense to me is doing that with baseball, because you got a bunch of places that like baseball as much as we do. There's no place in the world that likes football as much as the United States. I think you're pushing a round peg into a square hole.
It's like how baseball has like the Tokyo Classic, a few things like that.
Just Chalk on Southern Structural Solutions text line says that Dak has 9 interceptions, Lamar Jackson has 7. But doesn't that seem to being that he outperformed them by 9 touchdowns? Now, you do have to factor in Lamar Jackson and what he did rushing the ball, and he has over 800 yards rushing, 5 rushing touchdowns, and he didn't play the last game of the season. So he's played 1 less game than Dak and has yards not only passing but rushing.
Well, here's a question. It's not the question, but it's a question. If you're a defensive coordinator, who are you more afraid to face, Lamar or Dak?
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
Bingo.
By far.
Yeah.
Now, Dak can do some of those same things, but Dak is not really just – if the play breaks down, he's still looking downfield. Lamar Jackson is going to move around a little bit more than he will.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he gets an open field, you know that he can outrun everybody. Dak – he has a little bit of speed, but you're not necessarily fearing he's going to outrun everybody.
He runs well enough to move the chains. I'll give Jerry Jones this. 49er John was a little rough on Jera. But he's made some dubious decisions in the draft over the years. Picking C.D. Lamb was a stroke of genius.
No, that was outstanding.
Lamb's tremendous. He is a much better NFL receiver than he was a college receiver, and he was a good college receiver.
That sounds familiar. A lot of LSU receivers are like that.
Got that right.
And then there you go with CeeDee Lamb coming from Oklahoma. You wouldn't have thought that.
I know.
But, yeah, he's proven it.
Jones and his boys saw something in Lamb. They were right.
Southern Structural Solutions text line, who's falling off worse, the Eagles or Jags? You have to say the Jags because the Jags didn't make the playoffs. Yeah. But the Eagles have had a slide down the stretch.
Cushion. Yeah.
And even the Dolphins, they've had a rough stretch down the stretch, but they made the playoffs. So have to go with the Jags, losing 5 of the last 6 and not making the playoffs. That was a big-time fall-off. Hour 3 is coming up on Out of Bounds, and we're going to have plenty more on the other side, so stay tuned for Out of Bounds live from the Hogs Meat Market studio.
Eat My Catfish, your favorite place for po' boys, shrimp, chicken, crawfish, and so much more, including, of course, catfish, is back open for business in the Breckenridge Village Shopping Center starting Tuesday. And you're invited to help celebrate the grand reopening as the Zone broadcasts live from there starting at 10. There'll be a ribbon cutting, door prizes, and giveaways, as well as a chance to win a catering valued at $250. It's a celebration that you won't want to miss. The official reopening for Eat My Catfish at Breckenridge with the Zone and 103.7 The Buzz.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Shelter agents Monica Reiners or Brian Kress in North Little Rock or Jamie Marsh in Little Rock.
Tune in every Monday night at 7 during basketball season for the Eric Musselman Show. Coach will break down gameplay and strategy. Brought to you by Genesis of Conway, Arkansas's only Genesis dealership. The all-new Genesis of Conway, now open at 1075 Collier Drive.
This is Chuck Barrett, inviting you to listen to me call the Hogs on 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock.
Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
A 2-month construction project will have a big impact on drivers in Little Rock's Pleasant Valley neighborhood. Crews will be reconstructing Pleasant Valley Drive between Rodney Parham and Hidden Valley Drive starting today. It's a 2-phase construction project designed to raise the roadway. In Phase 1, drivers will use the westbound lanes of Pleasant Valley Drive to travel both directions. In Phase 2, traffic will shift to the eastbound lanes. First Baptist Church and homes in the neighborhood will remain accessible throughout the project. A candlelight vigil was held Sunday night in Monticello to remember the 4 family members who died in a home explosion December 30th in Michigan. Dawn, Hope, Kenneth, and Elizabeth Bragg lost their lives in that explosion. Investigators believe the explosion was likely caused by flammable fuel in the air. Now their second son, 16-year-old Stephen Bragg, and Hope's father, Richard Pruden, are still in the hospital. From the Channel 7 newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
We are going to see rain today and quite a bit of it. Cool and windy, too, with a high of only 48 degrees. Could be a few thunderstorms in the afternoon, but severe weather not expected. And tonight's low drops down to 39. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort presents Oaklawn Race Day with Justin Akery and David Wanjanati every Saturday morning at 11. Oaklawn Race Day is your inside track to America's hottest thoroughbred action and Arkansas' source for racing news and analysis. Oaklawn Race Day, presented by Oaklawn, Arkansas's only racing casino resort.
Hey, it's Matt Zimmerman from Telco Federal Credit Union. Hey, they get it at Telco Federal Credit Union. With rising home loan rates, maybe staying put and just fixing up your current home is a better financial solution. Telco offers home improvement loans even if you have little to no equity. Now you can get your kitchen and bath remodeled and some new flooring. The local team at Telco Credit Union will find you the right loan, the lowest rate, and will make the process so easy. Stop in, log on at telco.com or call 501-375 855-5321.
Roger Scott for Family Markets. Are you looking for a grocery store that feels like home? Then look no further than Family Markets. With stores located in Pangburn, Malvern, and Shannon Hills, you can think of them as neighborhood staples, where the butchers still cut and pack their own meat, where the produce is always fresh, and customer service is a top priority. And with over 100 years of experience and knowledge in the grocery business, the management team at Family Markets is dedicated to bringing you the best shopping experience possible. So why not stop by and check them out today? Family Markets, the way grocery shopping should be.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Do you need health insurance? Open enrollment for the Arkansas Health Insurance Marketplace is happening now. Do you have questions about plans and coverage or need help with enrollment? Visit myarinsurance.com to connect with an Arkansan waiting to help at no cost to you. But hurry, the final open enrollment deadline for 2024 health insurance coverage is January 16th. Find help today at myarinsurance.com.
It's the 34th annual Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic, presented by Oaklawn, January 26th through the 28th at the State Fairgrounds. There are hundreds of vendors with huge discounts on all types of hunting equipment. Hunters, bring your antlers for a chance to win a Tracker Off-Road 800 SX from Bradford Marine and ATV. The 34th annual Reliance Bank Arkansas Big Buck Classic, sponsored by Hunters Refuge, Remington, Taka Hunting Gear, and Outlaw Beer.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Live from the Hogg's Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. 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 Be humble. Sit down.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. It's hour 3 from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher. If you want to get into the show, you can call 501-661-1037. Southern Structural Solutions text line, same number, 501-661-1037. 1037. Gangster Museum of America, Life and Feedback. And it is a weekend recap brought to you by Fleet Management Services. We are going to get into some Razor Hogg update and recap that game that happened on Saturday against Auburn. It was the first conference game for Arkansas.
This is your Razor Hogg update on Out of Bounds, presented by True Service Community Federal Credit Union, where they offer new mortgage loans, refinancing, auto loans, and small business loans. Online at trueservice.net.
It's a Razor Hogg update brought to you by True Service. And it was an ugly game that Arkansas suffered their worst loss at Bud Walton Arena by 32 points. Final score, 83-51. And Auburn, you have to give them a lot of credit. They controlled the action from beginning to end. For Arkansas, you had 3 players that were in double figures: Trevor Brazil, Keon Menifil, and Tremont Mark. So you had 3 guys that were in double figures, and outside of that, not a lot of scoring overall. And it seemed like towards the end of that game that, and the game was over at some point, but it seemed like it got to a point where there were just players being thrown in the lineup trying to see what could possibly work at times. And then, of course, it came down to trash time at the end.
There was an excellent discussion in last hour's show with Justin and Wes. And Justin was taking some flack about being too negative about this, but he basically said, I'm worried about this. I don't know if they're going to be able to get turned around. Wes, oh, no, I'm not worried. Where would you shake out on that between those two polls? Are you really concerned that this is a harbinger of worse things to come, or do you think they're going to get it fixed?
I don't know that they are going to get it fixed. Yeah. And, the history says that they will, but it's a different team every year.
Exactly.
So how can you go on history to say that it's going to get fixed now based on what happened last year? Now, you can have faith in Coach Muss and the coaching staff that they will get it worked out, but you're talking about a whole new group of players.
I think he's an excellent coach, and he deserves the benefit of the doubt. Having said that, you look at the pieces he's got in place, I don't know that they're going to get a whole lot better right now. Maybe he's got too much of one kind and not enough of another kind, and not enough defensive stoppers, not enough rim protectors, whatever it is. But there's something missing right now. They have not really looked good, even against lesser opponents. And I kind of lean toward where Justin is on this. I'm getting more and more concerned as the weeks go by.
It really makes me appreciate the selflessness of the players that we had last year. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember last year watching those games and still being frustrated, but not to this extent, because at least those guys were playing as a union. I mean, those guys were so highly recruited coming out of high school. They didn't have to do that. Right now, we're running into the opposite effect. I think we've got a lot of guys who play individually.
Let's hear from Coach Muss with some of the post-game comments.
And I know Arkansas has struggled this year some in transition D. What is going on there, do you see? As far as just guys not getting back and balance on the floor?
Defensively. We've struggled on pick and rolls. Your shot selection has to do with your transition defense. So, I mean, when you lose by 30, I mean, we could go all the way around the room and each of you could pick a different area and you would all be right. We stunk in all areas. I mean, I don't know. I mean, transition defense. What about Johnny Broome in the second? I mean, I can go on and on. Yeah, we stunk. And we got to get a lot better to even survive in this league. We got to get a lot better. We got to be a lot more competitive. So with that, I will say you guys all saw how poorly we played, and there's a million things we could discuss, but we stunk in all those areas. This team has not resembled what we built the last 4 years from a competitive standpoint, from a defensive standpoint, from a loose ball getting standpoint. So what are we going to do? We got to try to figure it out as much as we can. Guys got opportunities and didn't seize the opportunities. 165 passes when our goal is 200. Again, we built something that I thought was really special. And, this group of guys has not carried on the tradition. And so we've got to try to continue to get as best we can with the group that we have right now. I mean, I've coached a long time. I don't remember a home game like this ever since I've been coaching, whether it's the minor leagues or whatever. We had people that paid good money to come to the game. We had people that drove far. We had people that, basically a filled up building.
Called out the team there, saying that they're not playing and playing to the point of building on the tradition that they've built and the foundation that they've built. But once again, it does go back to this is an entirely new team. But he coaches, and Coach Muss, he coaches a certain way, and he expects a certain result from the team. And right now, they're just not getting that result. If you look at some of the stats from the game, turnovers, they did control that, so they had less turnovers than Auburn. But when you go to points from the paint, they were outscored by 30, 48-18. Second chance points, Auburn 13-4. Fast break points, 17-7. And then bench points, even though they took a lot of players off the bench, 46-9. That is a statement in itself, where Auburn is explosive off the bench and Arkansas is pretty much non-existent there.
I'm tired of Trevor Brazile playing like he's not the best player we've got. I know Minifield has highlights, okay? I know he looks good whenever he's got the ball in his hands. But Brazile should be on the low block getting buckets, like using the old man post game. You know what I mean? Seriously. He can shoot the three, but that will open up your three-point attempts. Like, that's what I'm not sure is being realized at the moment. And I'm just frustrated. I mean, this guy, he's supposed to be our top pick. I'm not seeing it up to now. And I think this has to fall on your top player.
He is a guy that could dominate the game. We've seen him do it in the past. He's just not playing with any kind of consistency this year. And, you know, for one of the guys that returned to the lineup from last season, even though we saw him in limited action because he was out for an injury, but for one of these guys that you're depending on coming into the season, it hasn't been anything close to what we thought it would be.
And it was Brazile, correct me if I'm wrong, that was having some of the attitude issues earlier on in the season, right? Kind of getting some teased by talking smack, a few of those things. Is
that's part of his game, though?
So that's the thing, is I haven't seen that in the past month. Almost, probably.
So you're saying he's not even playing with passion anymore the same way?
But I'm saying maybe that's what he needs. Maybe he's been coached out of his own routine a little bit. And I think mentally, especially in a sport like that, you have to get yourself right mentally before you're ever going to be able to put it together on the court. And I think he's probably shaken right now.
Let's go to the phones and talk to Brent. What's up, Brent?
What's up, Joe?
Hey, Brent. How's it going?
Going great, Joe. I want to get away from this basketball team a little bit. I want to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, Joe.
Okay.
What do you think's going to happen at quarterback for the Steelers this week, Joe? You think they're going to go back to Kenny Wilson-Pickett, or I think they need to stay with the guy from Oklahoma State.
Yeah, there's no reason to change at this point. You're in a 3-game winning streak. They've looked the best they've looked on offense over the past 3 games. They're going to continue with Mason Rudolph. They're not going to make a change there at all. Now, the future, that's a different conversation, but they're in the now. They're in the playoffs, and they have to go with what's happening now.
Just an outstanding coaching job by cool Mike Tomlin. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, did I hear right? He's never had a losing season, correct?
Yeah, that's right. And the after the 3-game losing streak this season, you know, there was the thought that this could be it because they were a 500 team at the time. And even if you go back to last season, they were 5-8 with 4 games left, so they had to win out to get to 9-8 to have a winning record, and they did.
And how many, Joe, before I go, how many years has he been the coach? Over 10.
17.
Wow.
So
7.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, coming into the season, he was asked about, he said, you know, Coach, you've been doing this 17 years. And, you know, he immediately kind of shut some things down and said, well, yeah, it's been a long time, but I'm on the back side of that. And they said, well, Coach, are you giving us some breaking news? He said, yeah, I'm giving breaking news. I'm not going to do it for another 17. So he did acknowledge the fact that, you know, he may coach less years in front of him than he's coached behind him.
Have they told me anything about, is J.J. Watt going to be able to play this week?
TJ Watt, no, but JJ Watt did give an update on him yesterday and said by it being a grade 2 MCL sprain, it's not likely that he plays and he could be out multiple weeks in the playoffs if they were to win a game or so.
Oh, okay. Well, y'all have a great day.
Thanks,
Appreciate it, Brent. Southern Structural Solutions text line last year, 11-1 heading into SEC play, talking about Razorback basketball. This year, 9-4, get blown out by Auburn. This team is not good. To make the tourney, they will have to be top 5, if not top 3 in the SEC, and that ain't happening. So already, through one conference game, there are people that they don't see it happening.
They're bailing. Well, there are a lot of reasons for concern right now. That's all you got to say.
They just haven't played as a unit, played consistently, and then whenever they've been on the road, you see those inconsistencies come about, but then you saw that at home, and so that's where a lot of the major concern comes in.
Ethan said something that is noteworthy a minute ago. He said that watching them this year makes you really appreciate last year, the last couple of years, about how selfless they were. They had grinders. They had glue men that would get in there and do the dirty work and do the things that the team needed to do to win. Did you guys see what Herb Street said this week in an interview with Rich Eisen about Ohio State? Oh, he's just catching all kinds of grief
what did he
that.
say?
Well, he said Michigan has something that Ohio State does not have. He said they got a bunch of guys that have bought into the team. They don't care about individual glory. They don't care about stats. They don't care about anything else. He said Ohio State has still got too many guys. They want to be the star. They want to have the gaudy numbers. They want to do this. He said Michigan's just about winning. They just want to win in any way necessary, to quote 49er John and Malcolm X. He said Ohio State has still got too many glory hounds that are out for themselves. Oh, and I mean, if Herb Street hadn't already been chased out of Columbus down to Nashville, this would have done it. But of the thousands of comments, they're like, I hate that guy. I told you, he's a fake Buckeye. He's this guy. And I think what he said was largely true.
He has a job to do.
That's it.
He's doing his job.
No, his job's not to be a cheerleader for Ohio State, and he saw some things. Look, Ohio State has still got many more highly rated recruits than Michigan does. But you can't say that they've played up to those accolades. And Michigan's taken a lot of those 3 and 4 star guys, and they've coached them up, and they've developed them, and they seem to have bought into the team concept a lot better than Ohio State has.
Pretty rare, too, in the modern era of college football.
It's almost unprecedented. That's exactly. Yeah, as everybody's looking for more NIL money and going in the transfer portal, Michigan has had very, very few people who've done that. And Ohio State just had a starting quarterback that left.
He wasn't any good anyway. That's going to benefit them.
I agree with that, unless the next guy is even worse.
Joe, it really sucks that it's all in vain, too, doesn't it? It all sucks, man. Seriously.
See, he thinks I'm not keeping receipts.
Okay,
Look,
so
Coach Prime is keeping receipts, boy, so you just remember that. I'm calling you tonight.
So numbers have been exchanged, and there's going to be a conversation after the game tonight either way. Michigan wins.
There's going to be a conversation.
Pigskin is going to reach out to Ethan.
Absolutely.
If Washington wins, you know that Ethan's going to be reaching out to you. So
I'm man enough to take it. I've lost a lot more than I've won, so I can deal with it.
Lay down on the tracks.
That's it. I am on the tracks.
That we can relate on.
Let's go to the phones and talk to Heath. What's up, Heath?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
Heath.
I tell you what, man, it's some nasty weather out here. So
you ain't kidding, brother.
Be safe driving. Man, so Pigskin, how confident are you on your Wolverines tonight?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 7.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to go beyond and go like 12.
No, I'm not stupid. I'm always expecting, like, around the corner somebody's going to smash me in the head with a shovel. So I got my head on a swivel, but I think we're gonna. It ain't gonna be Ethan. I can tell you that.
Ethan has a shovel in there with him.
Yeah, I'm gonna show Ethan that shovel. But I mean, listen, this is an explosive team, and here's the thing: I can't shake this last year. 2 years ago when we played Georgia was just better. We play those dudes 10 times. Georgia would have whipped us 9.5 out of those 10 times. Last year when we played TCU. If we'd have played TCU 10 times, we'd have beaten them 9 times. We played the dumbest, most ignorant game I've ever seen in the modern Michigan era. We killed ourselves. 2 pick sixes. We had a touchdown overturned in the end zone on a bad call. We fumbled on the 3-yard. I mean, we gave away 28 points and then lose by 6.
Hey, guess who said the same thing?
Who?
And it doesn't matter at this
Alabama.
point. Yeah, Nick Saban,
Yeah.
you could read his lips. The camera panned to him, and he said, we're beating ourselves. We're doing this to ourselves.
Well, except, Nick, we sacked your quarterback 6 times and he couldn't pass. But, yeah, other than that, you were the, Joe Walsh, Bill Walsh, San Francisco 49ers, Joe Walsh. That'd be good. But here's the thing. We could absolutely lose this tonight. I think if we play our game and Washington plays their game, I think we win. Now, if Washington plays really well and we come out and play like we did against TCU, we'll get beat. But I think this team's on a mission. I think they're locked in. I think they're focused. I think we show up, we play a good game. Hopefully, we got all those special teams mistakes out of our system last week.
Oh.
See, that's the thing about Saban. Oh, we shoot ourselves in the foot. We didn't. We missed a field goal, an extra point. We muffed 2 punts. We dropped 3 passes. Yeah, okay. We didn't play like that all season. So Nick needs to shut up and sit down and watch tonight's game, and may the best team win.
They may have him on the covers so that he can get some more.
Yeah,
recruits.
so he can get on there and whine. What did Greg Sankey say? Well, we deserve to have 2 teams in. Like, Sankey, shut up and sit this one out, would you? Just shut up.
Hey, Joe.
What's up, Heath?
Game on the line. Game on the line. Who do you trust, McCarthy or Penix Jr.?
This is the question.
Penix. It's going to be more about. Just personally, Penix.
Heath, he's going with the 32-year-old whose grandkid will be at the game. That's who he's going with.
Exactly. He has the experience.
Yeah, he's got the experience. Well, you remember what Mike Tyson said? Everybody, Heath, has got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. So
that's exactly right, but it's about making adjustments. So I tell you what, the reason why Michigan's in the position they're in, especially with developing talent, is they've got one of those programs to where that's what they do. They can just keep the talent, they can develop it, and it shows on the field. There's not too many programs out there anymore that can do that. So, I mean, you look at Ole Miss, they cleaned up in the transfer portal, but that's probably the only chance they got to put the championship team on the field. So, I like it. Some don't, but that's the future right there, gentlemen.
Well,
that's
and
Heath,
here's the thing, okay? I'm not saying Michigan's got any transcendent players. We don't have any Jim Browns or O.J. Simpsons or Mean Joe Greens or
Blake Corum is really good.
Great. But here's what we got. And that people like Sterner, they can't hang with Alabama. They can't hang with Washington. Do you understand something?
Why do you take
Clint?
everything so personal?
Because I do take it personally. This team is probably going to have between 15 and 20 guys taken in this year's draft. So it's not like you can't say, oh, they're not any good. No, they got a lot. They don't have a lot of first-rounders, but between rounds 2 and 6, they might have 17 guys taken. And I think that's going to show up tonight.
Easy, Michael Jordan.
Isn't that what the number 1 team should have? I'm not following you, Pigskin. I'm not.
Ethan, you need to shut up. Ethan, is what you need to do.
You're telling me the best team
Ethan,
has
you're
really good
annoying me.
players that get
Okay,
drafted?
Ethan, I'll come in there and turn you every which way but loose, son. I'll do it.
Gangster Museum of America Life and Feedback. Daniel Whitaker says, National Championship. I expect the lowest viewing rated in quite some time. Only intriguing part is Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State not in it. Didn't even remember the game was tonight. Just means less.
Here's why that's a stupid comment, okay? Do you know what the number 1 game this year has been?
Michigan, Ohio State.
Michigan-Ohio State. Yeah, but even though the people in Malvern aren't going to watch it, so what? Everybody else is watching. Yeah, in Birmingham, Alabama, they'll all have to go to Dreamland and eat some more ribs. Well, guess what? In the rest of the country, people will tune in. Go look at the highest-rated games of the last 5 years in college football, and Michigan is up there with about 75%.
Why did Malvern have to catch that? How do you know people there weren't
I'm
watching?
saying that's a Southern comment. Now, people down here don't care. I don't care what people down here don't care about. The rest of the country is going to tune in and watch, and football fans will tune in and watch. So there you go.
Yeah, it's the championship game.
Oh, if Alabama's not in it, I don't care. They were in it last week. They got beat. Deal with it.
It comes down to the end. It's a chance to see who the champ is. It's the last game of the college football season. People are going to be watching.
Thank you. But that guy's not going to watch, so we should all just cancel the game.
He said he forgot the game was tonight.
Well, I forgot he called in.
Not sure if he was just trying to just kind of poke at you just a bit.
No, he probably means it. I have no doubt he's sincere.
Even I would admit that Michigan is a really entertaining football team to watch.
It's going to be really entertaining when I call you in about third quarter, so don't take your phone off the hook, son.
Third quarter, I got my ringer on.
You better have it on.
We're going to come back with more of Out of Bounds after this break, live from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher. Stay tuned.
Ever wanted to watch our beautiful faces while you also listen to your favorite shows on The Buzz? Now you can. All your favorite Buzz shows are streaming live on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter pages. 103.7 The Buzz, your multimedia fun and game station.
This is SportsCenter.
Yesterday, the playoffs in the NFL were set. We will start with the AFC, where the Ravens got the number 1 seed and will await the winner of the 5th-seeded Browns and the 4th-seeded Texans. The Bills grabbed the 2nd seed and will face the 7th-seeded Steelers in the wild card. Then the Chiefs are the 3rd seed and will take on the 6th-seeded Dolphins. In the NFC, the 49ers got the 1 seed and will await the winner of the 4th-seeded Buccaneers and the 5th-seeded Eagles. Cowboys got the 2 seed and will take on the 7th-seeded Packers. And the 3rd-seeded Lions will face the 6th-seeded Rams. And the College Football Playoff National Championship between Michigan and Washington is tonight. Kickoff is set for 6:30. Coverage can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. Join in progress at 8. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Guys, it's a new year, baby. It's 2024. Low T Center can make it a great one. If you've been feeling tired and grumpy, you've noticed a lack of motivation and drive, you may have low T. Low testosterone levels can cause weight gain, loss of muscle mass, and so much more. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels tested. They make it quick. They make it easy to get all your levels checked, and it's only $25. And with their on-site lab, you'll get results back in about 25 minutes. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Listen for NFL Hall of Fame referee Walt Coleman Wednesdays during Morning Mayhem, presented by Sigma Supply Packaging Products. Schedule a free waste audit analysis with Sigma Supply's sales manager, David Breitenberg, and see if automation is a solution to your production line issues. Online at sigmasupply.com. If you're not using Sigma Supply, you got low-grade product, man.
Hi, I'm Rick Pennington of Lions Drug. We have great news. Generic Cialis is now available at a huge savings. We have Tadalafil, the FDA-approved generic of Cialis, in a 20-milligram tablet at a savings of up to 80%. We have the 5-milligram daily tablets for less than $3 a pill. Lions Drug continues to be your go-to pharmacy for men's health. What are you waiting for? Call us today at 844-676-2247 or go to our website at lionsdrug.com.
It's Justin Acri for CertaPro Painters, and I get so excited when I get a chance to call my friends at CertaPro and tell them I've got a new project for them. CertaPro can help take your idea for a project and make it even better. The good thing is, you know you can get on the schedule and get that project started quickly. But it is starting to fill up fast, so you need to get on the schedule ASAP with my friends at CertaPro. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. These folks live in your community and want to help you get the best paint job possible. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Woody Hayes, Darrell Royal, and other old-school coaches were fond of saying, 3 things can happen when you pass, and 2 of them are bad. Harding University coach Paul Simmons would likely identify with that. But when you run the football as well as the Bison do, who needs to pass? Harding set an NCAA record with over 6,000 yards rushing on their way to the school's first national championship. Congrats to the Bison Nation for bringing excellence to football in Arkansas. James A. Harding, Cliff Gaines, and Jimmy Allen would approve of the mighty Flexbone. Just down the road in White County is Rosebud, and the Doublebees there is known for legendary hamburgers and hot plate lunches. Come celebrate the national championship Bison at Doublebees. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebees.
4x4 vehicles are the multi-tools of the automotive world. They get us to work. They take the kids to school. They take us hunting. They take us to the great outdoors, to places away from the hustle of the world. Whatever task we give our pickup or SUV, we need it to be reliable, and we need to have it work when we need it to work. Mud Connection 4x4 in Little Rock has been modifying and servicing four-wheel drives for over 40 years. The Mud knows 4x4s better than anybody else. Call today for your 4x4 accessories and service. Mud Connection, connecting you to the off-road world.
Check out Hogg's Meat Market's monthly specials and meat packages at hoggsmeatmarket.com. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Somebody hand me a cigarette. I know I ain't had one in over a week. Somebody pour me a double shot. Been getting better by the day, but tonight I drink. You say I gotta get over you and get sober too. I got a lot of habits I gotta kick. Well, weigh out all your options and take your pick. Hey, I can either burn the bar down, or I can take your number out my phone. I can give you up right now and never want you back long as I'm half stoned. If you want me to quit you, want me to get you out of my heart and baby out my mind, I hate to tell you, girl, but I'm only quitting one thing at a time. I know I got me some problems.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pixie, and Preacher. It is a weekend recap brought to you by Fleet Management Services. If you want to get into the show, you can call 501-661-1037. Southern Structural Solutions text line, same number, 501-661-1037. Gangster Museum of America. Life and feedback. All the ways to get into the show. Saquon Barkley. He's with the end of the Giants season. He's already being asked about his future. And he says, I went through this whole process last year. Speaking on the franchise tag, we talked more than enough last year, to be honest. I'm just going to let my agents handle this. He said he's numb to the fact of hearing about the franchise tag once again. They did it last year, so I'm numb to it. I don't have any feelings towards that at all. If you're going to do it, just do it. Don't wait until March 5th. Let's just get it over with. If not, let me go. Simple. So we know how frustrated some of the running backs can be, especially when it comes to the franchise tag and trying to get paid and get a long-term deal. But Saquon Barkley said he's numb to the process because he went through it last year. If it happens again this year, he's not looking forward to it, but said he's just going to let his agents handle everything.
They're being devalued these days as a group, but I still think they're tremendously important for winning championships. The teams that run the ball are usually going to win titles.
It can be true that they're valuable and still underpaid. I mean, it's just a sad fact. And it's like offensive linemen, defensive linemen. Just because those guys are really the guys putting their bodies through the most physical toll doesn't mean they're going to get the most rewards. It's all about your value in the league. You have to try to market yourself. That's where I think Saquon could maybe be doing more ads, maybe become more of a national name. You know, if people who don't watch football know Saquon, maybe he could get paid.
Speaking of people that don't watch football, you know, the genius that called in a minute ago or sent the text thing, no one's going to be watching tonight. It's going to be really low rated. Okay, this is from Football Scoop. These are the 10 most highly watched games in college football this season.
Start from the bottom and let's work the way up.
Number 10, Michigan, Penn State, 9 million.
That was number 10? Wow.
Yeah. Number 9, LSU, Florida State. Yeah, it's all about the same, 9 million plus. Number 8, Oregon, Washington. Number 7, Colorado State, Colorado. Number 6, Penn State, Ohio State. Number 5, Ohio State, Notre Dame. Number 4, Michigan, Iowa. Number 3, Colorado, Oregon. Number 2, Georgia, Alabama. Number 1, Ohio State, Michigan. There's one SEC game in that, 1.5 if you count the LSU and Florida State game. So per that comment, I would guess a lot of people are going to be watching tonight. And if he's forgotten, then tisk, tisk, tisk. Others will be watching.
Southern Structural Solutions text line, I was pulling for UM until I heard Pigskin started ranting.
Well, then don't. We don't need you. Stay off the bandwagon.
And we do have another comment about low ratings in the national championship game. Another one. No one wants to see a rematch championship like the Bama LSU abomination. I'm glad someone different is in the game, even if it is Michigan. And they go on with a score prediction: Michigan 38-17.
I like that.
So there's some positives to take from it.
There's signs of intelligent life out there in the universe.
Let's go to the phones and talk to Sterling. What's up, Sterling?
Oh, nothing much, guys. I expect the game to be a great game. Penix, if both teams play their best game, I can't help but think it's going to be a coin flip game that goes down to the wire. I don't understand this 5-point line in this game. Michigan, they beat Alabama, and Alabama's passing attack is nowhere close to this team. And Washington's defense is not as good as Alabama's defense. One of in the hundreds in the rankings. But it's going to be the battle up front between offensive lines and defensive lines on both sides of the ball. What this game's going to come down to. And Penix has such. He moves great in the pocket, keeps his head downfield. I'm expecting a classic. I would have to take the points if I was playing a game with Hogg or Saracen or anything of that nature. But I think it's a coin flip game. I'm surprised. I don't know how they come up with that line being that besides the brand of Michigan. I mean, anybody that's seen this team, because they tried to tell me that Oregon was 10 points better than Washington a month ago. So I just don't see that line being right there. But I expect a great game, and I expect it to come down to the wire.
Well, Sterling, if Washington's that great, why have they won 10 straight games by one score? Why didn't they blow anybody out?
Great. Because they're that great.
They're getting it done. They're finding a way to win.
Yeah, but they haven't blown anybody out.
They're finding a way to get it done.
They were 10-point dogs. They're 10-point dogs in games and winning them outright.
Michigan's got the largest margin of victory of any team in America. How's that?
They covered every game with Harbaugh. When Harbaugh wasn't coaching, they didn't cover.
Michigan has the largest margin of victory of any team in America, Sterling. I mean, you got to deal with that.
I'm telling you, if you bet on them all season, half the time you lost your money.
Well, then don't bet tonight. Save your money.
Well, we're talking back and forth here. I mean, I'm not trying to get into no argument here, but I mean, you say margin of victory, and I'm telling you that if you bet your money on them, you would have lost half the time.
Well, then bet on Washington tonight. Maybe you'll win some money.
I already have, but I'm just saying that I want the game to be a coin flip game. I think it's two great teams going at it. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't have a dog in the hunt. Besides,
neither does Greg Sankey in the SEC, Sterling. They don't have a dog in the hunt either. How about that?
Well, I'm not Greg Sankey or the SEC. I'm Sterling from Center Ridge, but for whatever everybody else, I'm just giving you what I think about the game. That's all I'm doing. I mean, I think it's going to be a great game. I got Joe Moore, award-winning offensive line against a great defensive line of Michigan. It's going to be I think it's going to go down to the wire. I mean, that's just what I think. But
Sterling, by the way,
think Michigan's going to blow them away?
Sorry to cut you off. You had mentioned that there's only, you don't want to argue with Pigskin. That's the only way to talk to him. Like, you have to argue with him to talk to him. I'm sorry to tell you that.
You're not very good at it, though, Ethan. Sterling's better at it than you are.
Come on.
You should listen to Sterling, Ethan.
Oh, brutal.
But I mean, I think it's going to be a great game. I just don't understand the line, and I guess you're saying that because they had margin of victory in games against Purdue is the reason why the lines.
Yeah, that's only the team they beat was Purdue. They didn't beat Iowa with a top 10 defense. They didn't beat Penn State. They didn't beat Ohio State. They didn't beat Alabama. They beat the SEC champ, Sterling. The SEC champ.
In overtime.
The SEC. Okay, overtime. So I guess it didn't count. Maybe we'll forfeit.
Well, I'm just saying, let's not act like they went to in the Rose Bowl. They blew Alabama out. I mean, Alabama.
They beat them.
Been in the game. But I mean, I saw the game, and Michigan should have won that game by 30 points.
If
But
we hadn't
somehow, some
fumbled
way,
two
they found a
punts and
way.
missed 3 kicks, we probably would have, okay?
And if you do that tonight, you're gonna lose.
Okay, I agree with that. Did you also watch us throw Alabama around on the line of scrimmage? Did you watch that?
I saw that.
Did you? Did you see that? What'd you think about that?
Yeah.
It's pretty good, wasn't it?
Has no effect on the game tonight, though.
Well, how about we throw them around, too?
Then that'd be a different story.
Okay, well, if they do, I'm going to
Well,
call
I
you
mean,
two and
with all
remind
that-
you.
With all that throwing around, though, we got to be in a situation with a minute and some change left. We're on 4th and 2. With all that throwing around, down 7 points. So I'm just saying, you can't. You dominated the game, and you were trailing in the game.
We dominated the
just
game
wrong.
because we tried to give it away to them. But all I've heard about is Saban, we're just beating ourselves. Yeah, we didn't.
not talking
We did
about
the
Saban.
same
I'm talking
thing.
about
So, well, what's the difference?
I'm talking about Penix, who technically, if you go by scores and early this season, they played a tougher game, a tougher team than y'all played in the semifinals, and they was in control. And what for a fluke injury at the end, they're not sweating the victory. They ain't having.
Well, how impressive. And they only had to go for it on 4th down from their own 30-yard line to beat an average Washington State team. We could do this all day, Sterling.
I'm going.
And we'll see the results tonight.
I'm trying to find out the line. I'm trying to find out. What I'm trying to find out from you, as a astute football fan here, is why is Michigan a 5-point favorite?
Because we're going to have 17 guys taken in the draft this year, and Washington might have 5, okay? I think we're better. I think we have better talent.
Okay. Guess we'll see.
Yes, we will.
Day.
Hey, appreciate it, Sterling. Southern Structural Solutions text line. I think Michigan steals one here. I think, yeah, a little.
I like that.
Little comedic gesture there.
I don't mind that.
Also, let's see. The only reason to watch Michigan is to watch Michigan lose. So you have some people that are continuing.
Good. I hope all of you watch to see them lose, and I hope you're all crushed and disappointed.
Another text here says, "Go Washington." So, got some Michigan support, but you do have some Washington support also. Another message. So, did Michigan cheat or not? Will this game tonight have an asterisk next to it?
Yeah, it's already been asked.
That one already.
Yeah, good question.
All right, we're going to come back with more of Out of Bounds. It's the last segment. We're going to end it, and we have a little bit more to get into. And so stick around. Stay tuned. Out of Bounds, last segment coming up. Live from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher.
Well, we wrapped up 2023. Now you got to start making those goals for 2024. How about starting with ending your joint pain? Hey, everybody, it's RJ Hawk. Don't go another year compromising because of that joint pain in your knees, your back, or your shoulders, or maybe from an old injury. You need to call QC Kinetics now. They are the nation's leader in regenerative non-surgical pain relief. And you heard me right, non-surgical. They don't do drugs, they don't do surgery, and the best part, there's no downtime. Your body has exactly what you need to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue. The future of pain medicine has arrived, and QC Kinetics has thousands of Central Arkansas patients that are loving getting their life back. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again, get your life back, and listen, there's no surgery involved. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
Eat My Catfish, your favorite place for po' boys, shrimp, chicken, crawfish, and so much more, including, of course, catfish, is back open for business in the Breckenridge Village Shopping Center starting Tuesday. And you're invited to help celebrate the grand reopening as the Zone broadcasts live from there starting at 10. There'll be a ribbon cutting, door prizes, and giveaways, as well as a chance to win a catering valued at $250. It's a celebration that you won't want to miss. The official reopening for Eat My Catfish at Breckenridge with the Zone and 103.7 The Buzz.
Roger Scott, I'm going to talk to you about Sigma Supply Packaging Products and how they think outside the box. Sigma Supply, they're problem solvers. Now, they've been helping business owners for years with their waste audit analysis program. They're going to come in, they're going to analyze your packaging and shipping and see if automation is what you need to cut costs. Call or text sales manager David Breitenberg with Sigma Supply, and you can schedule your waste audit analysis. Here's the number, 501-617-4600. Sigma Supply Packaging Products. If you're not using Sigma Supply, you got low-grade product, man.
Hello, folks. It's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. For the past few months, we've been asking you to give us a chance to buy your cars, and the response has been great. We really appreciate all of you who brought your cars in and turned it into cash. We've purchased hundreds of cars from fine people just like you. Folks, we're still buying cars every day. So look around and see what you or your family has in the garage that you want to turn into cash. It's really easy, folks. Just come into Fletcher Dodge and ask for Chris or Andy. We'll buy any vehicle and we'll pay you more than anyone. We can't find enough vehicles at the auto auctions to meet the demand, so we're extending you this offer to the public. We'll pay you more, so don't wait. We've purchased hundreds of cars from fine people just like you. Come see us today for the best cash offer on your car, truck, van, or SUV. Just ask for Chris or Andy. We'll pay you more, so come see us at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood. Thanks.
Happy birthday, Elvis.
Yeah, to the King, 89 today, Roger. Hey, big game tonight. Who's going to win?
Look out, son. I've got Michigan by 10. There, city.
We'll be breaking it down tomorrow with Rick Schaefer. Also, Caleb Battle will join the show.
He's a buddy of mine. He told me to calm down. We'll see if he still tells me to calm down. That's all tomorrow morning.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Christy Pettit in Malmö, Matt Cooper in Russellville, or Madison Buse in England.
Same great deals, all new location for Hogg's Meat Market in North Little Rock at 3901 JFK Boulevard. Call them today at 501-758-7700 for all their specials at Hogg's Meat Market. The Steak People.
Beautiful girls tell me goodbye. Trucks break down, dogs run off, politicians lie, been fired by the boss. It takes one hand to count the things I can count on. No, there ain't much man that ain't ever let me down. Long neck, high skull, beard never broke my heart. Like diamond rings and football teams have torn this boy apart. Like a neon dream, it just don't know me. The bars and this.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds from the Hogs Meat Market Studio. Joe Franklin, Ethan Riggs, Pigskin Preacher. It is a weekend recap brought to you by Fleet Management Services. And thanks to Fleet Management Services for everything they do. Let's go to the phones and talk to Kyle. What's up, Kyle?
How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Yes, sir. I called up here last week, and I was a little worried about our front court against Auburn. And anyway, I just want to move past that. I don't really like the Big Ten, but I don't think that if Michigan is not behind by halftime, Washington doesn't have a chance because that defense, Michigan brings pressure like you haven't seen since like the 19 Alabama team. That defense is crazy, and there's no way they can shut everybody down. It's a coincidence. And Washington goes over the top. So what's better? Washington. I mean, their quarterback is crazy. I'm just wondering who do you? I know who you got, Big Ken. I'm just saying. Joe, are you allowed to say it for the M?
Am I allowed to? Am I allowed to what?
No, he asked, "Am I allowed to say if I'm picking Washington
Well, of course,
in front
it's
of you?"
a free country.
Yeah,
of course
absolutely.
it is. And I like what you said. You said you don't like the Big Ten. I don't like the Big Ten either. I hate all the other schools in the Big Ten. I just like Michigan. So I don't care what any of those losers
That
do.
defense is not a coincidence.
I don't think it is. According to Ethan, it is. According to Ethan, they haven't played anybody. They haven't, not anybody with a pulse.
Sterling
So
is the most boring caller ever, Bubba. I love you, but dude, drink a Red Bull, drink some Folgers, pep it up a little bit.
well,
Bubba.
Sterling
That's
seems to be
okay.
confounded that Vegas doesn't know what they're talking about. I would point out that Vegas usually knows what they're talking about.
Appreciate it, Kyle. Nathan Monan says it's not Washington support, it's Michigan hate.
Of
Only
course-
Washington
of
fan I
course
know
it
is
is.
Jeremy Muck, and he's much more respectful than the rest of the
And
people that are
Jeremy
commenting.
Muck is a great young man.
Yes, he is.
And I get the SECers don't want to see Michigan win. I get that. Okay? If you were up there in the Midwest, you wouldn't want to see Georgia or Alabama win. So, touche. No harm, no foul.
Brendan,
Yes, sir.
you're on
Yes,
on
sir.
live, Brendan.
Yes, sir. I wanted to speak about the national championship game. I think Washington would definitely win it tonight. They have the best player that will be on the field. Penix Jr., he's the real deal. And as far as the men's basketball team, I can't believe people are even complaining or having anything negative to say about these guys because we have seen this before with Musk. Give him time. All he needs is a little time. These guys will figure it out. We have seen this time and time again with him. They will get it figured out. Slow down, relax, and I promise you, we'll laugh again at the end.
So you were
That's all.
saying in Muss, we trust.
No doubt about it.
I got
What
you.
else can we do?
I got you.
mean, before he came, look where we was at. Just think about it, guys. Pilfrey, saying oh my goodness. I mean, we shouldn't have anything negative to say. Let's get behind these guys. Let's rally. Let's get some wins. Early on. It's early. He struggled early before, but look what happens once he figured it out. That's all you got to do. Go on
Brendan,
track.
everybody
All right, appreciate it,
hopes
Brendan.
that you're right except for Stan. So we hope you're right.
Tiger Woods and Nike have ended a 27-year partnership. Tiger Woods commenting about it, he says, over 27 years ago, I was fortunate to start a partnership with one of the most iconic brands in the world. The days have since been filled with so many amazing moments and memories. If I started naming them, I could go on forever. Phil Knight's passion, his vision, brought this to Nike and Nike Golf. And I want to personally thank him, along with Nike employees and some incredible athletes I've had the pleasure of working with along the way. And he did make another comment where he says, yes, there will certainly be another chapter. See you in L.A. So he's alluding to the fact that he's going to play the Genesis, and that's going to be February 15th through 18th.
So who's going to pick up his sponsorship then? Who do you think it'll be? Titleist? Callaway?
Tiger could probably name any company out there, or he could come back with his own company.
There
He
you
could
go.
definitely do that.
Good.
Chris Paul is expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks. He had hand surgery, so he's going to miss a number of games with the Golden State Warriors. All-Star break is coming up, and the trade deadline is February 8th. And not that he was going to be traded, but there could have been some intrigue in looking into possibly moving on from Chris Paul. And now that he's going to be out of the lineup, Moses Moody, Gary Payton II, Corey Joseph, and Brandon Pajemski, those are all guys that are expected to get more playing time now that Chris Paul is going to be out for a while. With the success that the Cleveland Browns and Joe Flacco have had down the stretch, Joe Flacco's number 15 jersey, it's a hot commodity. The sales of the jersey are up 400% since Joe Flacco has joined the Browns, and he's had a really resurgent season.
Yes, he has.
And he could be your NFL comeback player of the year.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
He's definitely going to be in
and
that
also the
conversation.
AARP player of the year since he's 68 years old.
Elvis would be 89 years old today. and also David Bowie is another guy who would be celebrating his 77th birthday today. So a couple of guys who are big-time musicians that have passed on, and this is their birthday. And another guy who not many people are celebrating these days, another musician, but it's R. Kelly's birthday. R. Kelly is 57 years old.
He doesn't know how to hog tie anybody.
According to him.
So you want to hear something, speaking of music?
Well, Noah Cyrus, also 24 years old.
Wait for it. Tell me when. We'll play it.
Go ahead.
All right, ready?
Let's do it. Is this the Michigan fight song? We'll hear this a few times tonight. What other fight song does that sound like? Because they all sound alike to me.
Nobody sounds like this.
Yeah, they all sound
This one
alike.
sounds like it was made on SoundCloud, Joe. Terrible. What is the mix?
There we
you
go.
That's it. That's all you need to know right there.
For you,
Ethan, that's for you, young man.
For you, Pigskin.
For you.
Hopefully, that's played a lot tonight.
I want to hear that 72 times.
That would bode well for Michigan.
That would.
Well, it's we're gonna have fun watching the game tonight, and then coming back to react and recap it tomorrow.
I want all you Arkansans giving us that positive energy out there. I know all of you will. Ethan, I'm talking to you.
I
okay?
am so excited for our phone call later.
I know you're
So
excited. You should be excited. It's going to be a transformative phone call, young man.
Appreciate you guys today. Ethan, always good to see you. Pigskin, always good. Really appreciate you guys coming in, spending some time on Out of Bounds.
Pleasure's all mine.
Stay tuned for Drive Time Sports coming up next.
At the heart of historic downtown Russellville, the Old Bank offers an upscale dining experience. With the freshest ingredients and creative touches, their menu has an item for everyone. From their signature lump crab cake to a classic blue cheese poutine, BLT wedge salad to hand-cut prime steaks. They aim to cater everyone. And that's not all. Upstairs at the Old Bank, you can enjoy live entertainment Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday with trivia,